Boom. Bang. Boom. Parlay madness back in your life, boys. Sorry we started a little bit late. Technical difficulties over here, but we are here. We are back. The Lou, the motherfucking Jew, and we about to make you some money brand new. Picks. And we're back again. The first time we did this was Strickland versus du Plessis 1. That was when Parlay Madness kicked off. I think it was episode 2. The first episode I did alone. The second episode I did with you. And we've returned on Strickland versus du Plessis 2. So maybe it's fate. I don't know. We had some good takes for that card. So hopefully we can repeat the same to you. Shout out to everybody in the chat. What's going on, Jewish Better?
You can hear me?
Yeah,
ain't nothing much, man. I'll be honest with you. This isn't like the highest name value pay-per-view card. I feel like they start, putting some of these crappier fighters on, and then they spice it up with a main event and a co-main event that are really good. But yeah, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this card as like a whole, and I'm glad to be back, man. And hopefully we could get some money for these people, and we'll smoke some packs. You know what I mean?
Damn, bro.
My man Fernando Rodney, for my guy.
I haven't heard. First of all, I haven't heard that name, and I haven't heard that phrase in a long time, man. It's like music to my ears. I don't know what pack we're going to be smoking this week, but I'm sure it's a bunch of packs. So shout out to everyone in the chat. Chris Jones. There's a lot of love, JB. There's a lot of love for me and you in the chat right now and for this show. I know this show, kind of, it went super viral, and then we kind of just stopped doing it, but we are back again now. I don't know if it's going to last. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But at least for today's show, we're bringing it back to the people. And yeah, there's a lot of love, like I said, man. Wow One, Jacob Nolan, Baby Sharp, Dixon Sider, Chris Jones, UFC Casual saying he's been taping fights since Monday. That's a lot of time. I've been betting all week. I've been taping fights since last week. So hopefully we're on the same page on a couple. We got Wow One. Shit's laggy. We know that. But don't worry. As long as you can hear me, it's cool. Small World Lifters, shout out to you. Swear down, I walked past Javid Bashrat the other day in Acton. Yeah, I do know that location. We used to call it Crackton. You know what I mean? Because a lot of crack got sold right there. But anyway, Blunt Force is saying parlays are back. W, James, you got a huge dilemma. There's a new girl. I don't know if I should continue reading this, but yeah, I don't know, JB. Maybe you want to take that one over.
This dude has me blocked, so I don't even know. He blocked me.
Come on, bro. You can't be blocking the man, JB. But yeah, man, there's a lot of people in here. Jacob saying like the stream. So yeah, definitely like the stream, boys. We'll get into it without further ado. So I'll bring up my screen so you boys can see it. And then, yeah, man, we'll try and make some money on this card. So we'll start from the first fight of the night. I'll zoom in, boys, so you can see it properly. One thing I will say, disclaimer, I'm going to be eating for the first 10 minutes of the podcast because I got training straight after. And I got to eat before I train. So, yeah, sorry about that. But I'll put my mic on mute. So first fight of the night is Hyung Sung Park versus, you ready for this one, JB? You want to take this one over? This name?
It's Naim Yargul Tumindumbre.
Bang!
It's actually,
you almost had it. You had us in the first half.
It's pronounced, I believe, Tumindumbre. Like, you know how Dana Batgary is like Batgirl? It's the same thing. It's Tumindumbre. So for everybody calling him Tumindumbre, you can't say the goat's name wrong. It's Naim Yargul Tumindumbre.
Bang! All right, take us off on this one while I eat some rice, bro, and sushi.
Well, this is gonna be our first fight of the night, and you already know what we're doing. We're gonna light it up like some fucking pack because that's what's about to happen in this fight. Somebody's gonna get lit up like some pack. Because I'll tell you what, James, I don't see this fight going the distance. I know it's a flyweight bout, but I think both guys have a path to victory here. When we look at Hyun Sung Park, I just feel like his defensive striking is lacking a little bit. He doesn't hold like a high guard or anything special, and I don't think he has great head movement either, so he can be there to be hit. And he's shown some durability problems as well in some of his fights. I believe he was dropped by Sunguk Choi in their fight. He even got dropped. It wasn't by Ross. He actually took a round to finish Ross, and Ross was even landing some strikes on him. So if Naim Yargul comes out here like he normally does, super aggressive, he's gotten multiple knockdowns before, I don't know if he has like a lot of KO wins. I believe he only has 2, but I think he could catch the chin of Hyun Sung Park here. And on the other end, I think the better grappler systematically is Hyun Sung Park. I just don't really believe in his wrestling, and that's a key problem in this fight. But I do believe if he can get him to the ground like Top Noi Kiram was, let's compare both of those fights versus the same opponent. Hyun Sung Park submitted him in the first round, this Top Noi Kiram guy. He did get dropped in that fight, though, where on the other end, Taemin Dumbrell, dropped this guy and then went to a split decision with him. So I believe Hyun Sung holds the advantage in the grappling. He's got an excellent back take. You might want to look at the sub because I think he could get that here on Tumen Dumbre if the fight, goes longer. And I also believe that Tumen Dumbre can knock him out. We saw some heavy steam on that early on Bet Online, and I understand it. The price it was at made a lot of sense because, like, he has a lot of knockdowns. As I said, he throws vicious strikes as well. He's aiming to put his opponent away from the start to the finish of the fight. And, I think some of his shots could sneak around the guard as well. He throws a nice uppercut and hook. His shots can sneak around the guard, and I just think he could hurt Hyun Sung Park here, man. So I like violence here, and I think it's a dog or pass situation when it comes to money line. And that's it, man. That's what I like here in the spot. Flyweight violence.
Yeah, I feel you. And let's not get distracted in the chat. We're talking about money. We're talking about Matzo money. We're talking about violence. We ain't talking about no bitches with stinky armpits, right? So back to the fight, which is what we're here for. Park is I think that in this fight, he's going to want to grapple. You need to grapple Tumen. We know that, right? I was on Tumen last time out, plus 180, plus 190. Went to a split decision with Carlos Hernandez. Got dominated for around 10 minutes of the fight. Dominated about 3 minutes of the fight. He was the closest to finishing the fight. He knocked Hernandez down twice. And I think that you need to grapple this dude because he's a madman on the feet. He walks forward. He's got pretty good durability, even though he gets hit. And he hits very, very hard, especially for the weight class. He hits very hard. So I think Park's going to be smart and grapple here. But at the end of the day, if he doesn't, then the guy's going to be in a world of shit and he's minus 250. So it's a tough one for me, JB, because I kind of want to bet Tumen. I was on him last time out at the same price against a better fighter. So it's like, should I bet him here? Well, I think if Park grapples, then he can cover his line and look clean because he has got a very good back take and a very good rear naked choke. And, I do think that could be the path to victory for him here. I think he can get a submission. I think he's live for a submission. And he cracks on the feet himself. And Tumen disregards your power on the feet. So I won't be surprised to see Tumen get rocked a little bit here. Park has some good striking. He's not the best striker overall because he gets hit himself. His durability isn't up to par, like you said. But he does have some good slick boxing and even a couple of decent kicks. So, yeah, it's a tough one for me, JB. I think the fight ends inside the distance, like you said. So I think we may write that down for a parlay piece when I open up our Google Doc in a minute. In terms of a winner, I feel like the value's all on the Tumen side. I am kind of predicting a submission win for Park, but it really comes down to his game plan. One of the hardest things to cap in MMA betting is the fighters' game plans because we're just not in their camp. We don't know what game plan they're going to have. We don't know what they was drilling in training. I mean, if this Park dude was drilling striking or training, he's going to be more inclined to strike, even if his game plan is to not, right? And I'm sure his game plan would be if he's drilling that or training, but his reaction timing is going to be on point for the striking, but maybe a little bit lacking in the grappling. So it's very tough to determine what the fighter's game plan will be. I know Rinya Nakamura just came out with one of the worst game plans in history, coming from the road to UFC as well, just like Park, where he didn't grapple Gafurov basically at all until he was basically dead in that fight, right? So it's very hard to determine what game plans this guy will come out with. If he comes out trying to strike, I think he loses. If he comes out grappling, I believe he wins. So, yeah, I think the value's on Tumen. I like the under. I like that doesn't go to decision. So yeah, man, I'll write down Tumen as the money line side, unless you have any different opinion on that one. And I'll also write the DGTD.
Yeah, I like the Tumen Dumbre by KO line. It's like plus 600 on FanDuel. I think that could hit, bro. Just because he throws with, he throws basically 100% into his shots. He's looking to finish. He's got 2 knockouts on the record so far, and I'm just not a big believer in Park's durability. Obviously, if he gets the fight to the ground, like you said, he has a path. But I also just don't think he has like the best offensive wrestling. So I think at one point or another, Tumen Dumbre is going to hurt him at some point in this fight.
Okay, JB, the only one thing I need from you is the odds for everything. We'll go back to the usual setup if you can help me with that, bro.
Okay. You need me to bring up fight odds.
Yeah, just give me the odds for, I'd use it on whatever. I mean, we was using Bet Online, but then they didn't have the 2-3. So then we was using something else. Just whatever, man. Just go on the average odds or something. It's just basically going to be the same, right? If we say plus 160 or plus 170, sue me. It's going to be the same shit.
Yeah. My food just got here, so I'm trying to contact the driver. Okay. Here we go. Tumen Dumbre is... I'm surprised the chat didn't get this before I did. Yeah, I hate this site now. Plus 185 for Narmjargl on the money line.
Okay.
We're looking at a plus 475 on the KO, but I got plus 600 on FanDuel. So,
what are you using? BetBowl.
Yeah, Bet Online. Yeah, but we'll write that down for now. And then minus 200 on the fight doesn't go the distance, which is probably my favorite bet on the fight.
Should we put the under 2.5?
I think there's a late finish live for both guys, honestly.
Okay, we'll leave it. So, boys, if you are new to the show and you don't know how it goes, basically what we're going to do is break down the entire card, fight by fight. And then me and JB will both write in our favorite bets for the fights, or, potential bets where the values are. Not necessarily our favorite, but just where we believe the value is. And then at the end of the show, we're going to make some parlays and hopefully cash the parlays with the legs we have written down through the entire show. So that's how it works. Stay tuned to the end because that's the best part. That's where we actually make our bets. But yeah, there's a lot of fun along the way. So yeah, I think that's that fight done, JB. Unless you want to add anything, we will move on.
I'm good.
Shout out to the 212 live viewers we have in here on UFC 312. Tweet this out, boys. Retweet us. Get the boys in here. We need to reach at least 312 for our comeback show. But I have a feeling that we're going to breeze way past that. So, man, speaking about parlay madness, Jubli will forever be a GOAT in my eyes for cashing us. I think we might have did a show that week as well. I don't know. Yeah, we did. But cashing us the Lambo parlay, my Lambo parlay on Narco's show. Shout out to my man Narco. We did the Lambo parlay show and we had 100 to 1, 105 to 1 or something. It was Mike Breeden to win in round 3. Woof, woof. And then it was Makayev to win via sub in 2-3. So I cashed big on that Jubli one, right? I had the 105 to 1 parlayed. And that was, I don't know if it's probably my biggest cash ever, like 105 to 1. I don't really think I've done anything bigger than that. Like I haven't hit a 200 or 300 to 1 as far as I can remember. So yeah, that was a great one, 100 to 1 cash. And I know a lot of the community cashed on that as well. Let me know in the chat if you cashed on that. I also bet Breeden round 3, plus 2,000. Breeden money line, plus 275. And then I also had a 50 to 1 parlay on my website. So yeah, it was an amazing cash. So I always like Jubli for that. Now the argument is like, is he being a little bit disrespected because of that? Because obviously everyone thinks like, oh yeah, he's a bum now. But I mean, going into that fight, it was minus 500 for a reason. He won the first 2 rounds against Breeden. And he was coming off a decent win, a very dominant win in the finals, I believe it was, of Road to UFC. So yeah, I don't know what to think about Jubli. I just feel like he's not really all there in terms of heart and cardio. But I feel like skill for skill, he's decent fighter. Now coming up against this Quelan guy, obviously he's a little bit unproven, but he seems to have the same pace and aggression that Breeden showed in that round 3, but he shows it from round 1. Now, if he does that, it kind of seems like the same thing will happen to Jubli here. And I don't want to give a lazy breakdown like, oh yeah, he got finished in round 3. He's going to get finished in round 3 again. But I kind of feel like he's going to get finished in round 3 again. Now, I definitely think it can come in round 2. I feel like Jubli will compete early, though. I think he's a better boxer. So I think he's going to land his boxing shots early. I believe that, he will be dancing early a little bit. I think his angles are there. I think he could potentially even find top position. Not 100%, but it could happen. But then I do feel like he's going to gas as the fight goes on. I mean, we've seen time and time again it happened with Jubli. There was a reason I bet Breeden round 3 in the last fight. It's because Jubli had shown that he slowed down before. So it's not like I'm just being lazy and going on that last fight. I literally cashed on the last fight because he had shown the cardio issues before and the mental issues before, in fights. So I feel like we get a Sal Kid round 2, round 3 finish in this one, JB. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this line's a little bit wide, in all honesty, if you ask me. Just because I think Jubli could, stand with him. I don't think the level of competition for Quilin is that good. Like, he's got one Contender Series win versus a guy in Gage Young. And I thought Jubli looked pretty good in that Breeden fight until, he didn't. Until Breeden started barking. So maybe that's the strategy that Keelan will come in here with. If things start going bad for him, he's just got to watch the film, bro. Just start barking, and you're going to win the fight. So I think that's what's probably going to wind up happening, too, as well. I don't know if he gets the finish, but I think, this could go like 1-1 into the third round, and I think that's when Jubli starts to break a little bit, not only cardio-wise, but mentally as well. I think he's a little bit of a mental midget, so even if I think the odds are a little bit wide, I don't think I could wind up betting on him. I'll go with like Keelan Salkeed. I think he wins like round 3 or decision. That'll be my prediction, bro. I don't got much to say about this fight.
I like it. I don't think either of us have put in Jubli in a parlay, so I'm not going to write it down there unless you want me to. In terms of the fight, can you tell me what the DGTD is? Can you tell me what Quilin round 2, 3 is? And then maybe sub as well.
Okay, sub. Interesting. I could see that because Jubli, like we saying, he's a little bit of like a quitter. So sub actually went from plus 250 to plus 200 on Salkeed. So you're going to shop around. You'll get a better number, but
I don't necessarily want to like avoid the KO, to be honest.
I got nothing on this fight, so it's up to you. Fight goes the distance is what you're asking for. Fight doesn't go.
Doesn't go. I like it.
Minus 190.
I like it.
Okay.
What's the KO then? If sub's so low, what's the KO? Is it about the same?
Plus 225. It got bet up. So
I actually like the KO more than the sub.
Like a coin flip, huh?
Yeah, I feel like.
I think he could even win a decision, to be honest. So
yeah, what's Salkid 2-3?
Oh, it is bad. It is plus 400 and plus 600. It's not terrible though. Like,
all right, but do you have the 2-3 combo? Oh, we could just make a double parlay though. If you don't have it, it's all good, bro.
I don't think there's like a such thing as a 2-3 combo out there. Like, you have to pick a method.
No, there is, bro. You just
not on like American books. Like, we don't have that. You can do round 1 or 2, or you can do round 3 or decision. You can't do round 2, 3.
Okay.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. They should fix that.
Dixon saying Sal clearly said interview sub round 2. I'm missing information. Okay, fair enough, bro. I haven't seen the interviews.
I heard he was gonna grapple. I didn't know he said he was gonna go for the sub though. That's interesting.
The issue with interviews is that I've been betting MMA for 10 years and I have seen time and time again a fighter say they're going to do something and do the complete opposite. Benil Dariush said that when he fought, who was it? I think he said when he fought Carlos Diego Benil Dariush said when he fought Tony Ferguson, he's going to out crazy Tony Ferguson. He said that everyone thinks Tony Ferguson is the craziest fighter in the UFC. I'm going to show you how crazy I am. He's not crazier than me. I'm going to go and do spinning back fist. You're going to see who's the crazier fighter in this fight. Benil Dariush threw 0 strikes on the feet and grappled for 15 minutes, doing the complete opposite of being crazy. So, and by the way, I've heard that like 100 times, right? So like, it's very, very hard for me now to make a bet based on an interview. Now, I will give the caveat. Interviews are very important in a different way. The way I use interviews are to assess the mental health of a fighter coming into a fight. For example, sometimes fighters will come in and say, they'll look different than their previous fights, right? Maybe they mention retirement. Maybe they mention tough times recently. Maybe they mention taking a fight because of money. Maybe they mention injuries. This happens a lot. And this information is what I use. In terms of like a fighter saying, I'm going to grapple or knock him out or submit him, I almost completely ignore it, Dixon. So yeah, that's really just my opinion on interviews. So yeah,
My bad. I had to grab my food real quick. Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Bro.
Sometimes, you got to take it subjectively.
Yeah, I just think there's certain information you don't listen to, and there's certain information you do.
Bro,
Saying interviews are bad or wrong blanket is just silly.
I was there for that Ferguson fight too, bro. He tried to heel hook him. That was crazy. Easy bet on Dariush, though. Easy.
Yeah, but bro, like he grappled him like that. That's not going crazy. Like he grappled him for 15 minutes.
Nah, I'm
dominated
joking,
him.
dude. I'm joking. He was definitely.
You know what I mean? He did try to do that though. No, he knee barred him. I believe he had him in a knee bar.
He tried to heel hook him, and it was a tight one. But Tony, he doesn't tap, bro. He'll never tap.
He didn't tap. Oh, yeah, because no. Are you sure it wasn't a knee bar? I felt like
no, it was a heel hook, bro. I was there,
100%.
It was a heel hook.
Yeah. But yeah, man, the guy took like no risks in the whole fight, and it's like before.
Dude, I had Benny by points, bro. I'm not complaining. It was the most exciting fight in the world.
I had Benny. I had Benny inside the distance. And wait, when he had that submission, I was like, oh damn, like
yeah, fuck, you got a handicap. Like, yo, Tony ain't gonna tap, bro.
And then you just see him get like insta tapped by Chiesa. If I quit him like a couple years later,
I know
we might have got it, but it's all good.
Let's move on, bro. What do we got here? Jousset versus Mikalev. Could I take this one?
Yeah, bro. Please take this one, but please take a little bit long or interact with the chat because I just need to go and do something real quick. I won't be long.
Oh my god, you got to be kidding me, bro! Because
you hate when I do that to you. Hey, put you on the spot.
No, I just don't have that much to say about this one.
Come on, you can make up something about the French people or something. I don't know, make a joke,
bro. This guy, man, just getting up and leaving in the middle of the podcast. Kevin Jousset, I think he's gonna win a decision. In all honesty, I think he's gonna out jab him. He's gonna use his low kick. I think people are underestimating him coming off of that Brian battle loss. Let me look at some of the lines here. That way I could beat this guy ahead of it because I'll tell you what I like here and why I like it. I like some fight goes the distance. I think if this fight ends, it's, maybe a late KO for attritional damage from Jousset. But I think Mikalev's pretty tough for the most part. I think Mikalev could catch him in the sub, possibly plus 1,000, but I don't see it. I think it's very unlikely just because Jousset has a grappling base in and of himself, and I think he has good takedown defense. Let's go back and actually look, just so I'm not talking about my ass. He's got some decent takedown defense stats in the UFC as well. I want to go ahead and look for Kevin Jousset. He's stuffed. All right, he's got a total of 100% takedown defense, so nobody took him down. Brian Battle tried 3 takedowns. Song Kenan, 0 of 1. He's not going to take down anybody. Kiefer Crosby didn't even try to grapple. The second Kevin Jousset got him to the mat, he assaulted him. So I guess we might not know much about Kevin Jousset's like on the mat grappling. Mikalev, he's more of an opportunistic sub guy, like we saw on the Contender Series. I thought that was a good submission. Remember though, Mikalev was in trouble himself there with the guillotine. A dude who I don't rate too highly in his own right. I think that was a lower level fight on the Contender Series. Mikalev got the sub, so he gets the contract. But now he's going up against a guy with the UFC experience, and I just think this is a bit of a buy low spot on Jousset. What I was going to say about Mikalev was that submission attempt from Adu comes back, and he's able to finish him with a slick triangle. I believe he fell off of the back. It kind of looked pretty sloppy at first, but the way he recovered with that triangle was super nice. Locked it up really tight. He reversed the angle and then cut it back and was able to finish. So that was good as well. But I just think the overall Jousset durability is fine on his end. I think Mikalev's really tough as well. So over a spot here, and I think Jousset wins the decision. Dude,
so do I, bro.
You're back. Let's go.
Perfect. You did that perfect, bro. I agree with you, man. I think Jousset wins a decision. It's like This Mikhailov guy don't look that good. I faded him in his contender series fight, and I thought to myself, like, we're gonna win this fight. Oftentimes when a fight happens, when it's in front of you real time, you kind of just know like who's gonna win. Like as soon as the Bilal Muhammad Leon Edwards fight started, within 2 minutes, I was like, okay, like Bilal Muhammad is like a lock. Like I could just see he was gonna win the fight. Obviously, shit can happen. But I just thought he would win. I text all my friends, yo, live bet Bilal, live bet Bilal. Some of them got on at -110 right after it started, like after he slammed him. And I thought, man, this guy's going to lose to Addo. But then obviously he didn't. I just felt like he's got nothing for him in his striking, and he's the stronger, better wrestler, so he can dictate where it goes. And he's just inexperienced, just dumb, just started playing with him in the jiu-jitsu, which is all he has. And if Jousset doesn't do that, he can win. The guy's really just got a couple of slick submissions, right? The thing I know about Jousset for a fact, right, is that, because I know some boys out of CKB, and I know that Jousset is one of the best grapplers there. And, you could say that that's not saying too much out of CKB, but he's still a good grappler, right? Jousset is a good grappler. He's known for being a good grappler. So Mikhailov's best chance is to grapple him and submit him. And I just don't see it happening because Jousset is a good grappler, man. And then on top of that, Jousset's way better striker, way better. He shows very good takedown defense, So I feel like Mikhailov probably ain't going to be able to wrestle him because he's not a good wrestler anyway. And then I don't know, man. Like, what else has Mikhailov got for him? I've kind of basically just gone through all of their skill sets, and Jousset has him covered everywhere. Now, this is MMA. Jousset gets hit a lot. He's very hittable. He doesn't move his head that well. He's coming off a knockout, a finish. And, we could see him hesitant here. We could see him potential durability issues here. Mikhailov swings. He's not a great striker, but he will swing. So I guess there is some potential for him to win. He's in Australia. He is Australian. Like I guess there's some potential for him to win, but Jousset ain't really got to worry about not being a hometown guy. He's gonna have a lot of people from New Zealand over there with him. CKB will be with him. It's only this one's in Sydney, which is only like a 4-hour flight from Auckland. So Jousset lives where I live, Auckland, and I've been to Sydney. He used to live in Sydney. It's like 4 hours, so it's not like he's not the hometown guy. I think Jousset's going to win this one. Decision probably, because the guy just always wins a decision. It almost seems too easy, boys. Jousset decision almost seems too easy that something stupid might happen. Or maybe like Jousset submits him or something. Because like I said, he is a good jiu-jitsu guy. And I know a lot of people would probably be thinking that's impossible to submit Mikhailov because he's the grappler of the two. But yeah, anyway, I like Jousset decision here. So I'll write that down since we both agreed with it. If you could just tell me the lines for that one, and maybe the over 2.5 as well.
Over 2.5 is -155. I like that. And the Jousset decision is +140. I like that as well. And he could finish theoretically, like just attritional damage, but I feel like just jab, low kick, don't get in any trouble, don't let this guy take you down. Seems like a pretty simple pick for me. Let's go.
I agree, bro. I honestly think like if Mikhailov does try to grapple, I think he won't be able to take him down. I think that Jousset will be able to reverse him, take him against the fence, knee him up against the fence. I think he's a stronger fighter in the clinch, the more experienced fighter in the clinch. I know CKB work on the clinch a lot against the wall, and I think Jousset's going to be well more versed there. I could even see Mikhailov being very frustrated and pulling guard in this fight. So I'm going to call that right now. Mikhailov, either he pulls guard or like he kind of just lets Jousset like trip him over or something.
That's a great call. That's a great call.
Yeah, I feel like that will happen here. But Jousset will get the decision win. So yeah, I like that one. Next fight is Cody Steel versus Rongo. This is a good one. This is a very good one, man. We're on opposing sides here because we did a space. I mean, well, there's some nuance to that, but we did a space earlier this week, and I like the Rongo side. You're a little bit more on the Steel side. I'll give like my quick elevator pitch for Rongo. I think that he's improving. I think we've clearly seen him grow in the UFC from his first tenure to this tenure. And it's no surprise, right? Because the guy's only like 25 years of age, I believe he is. 24. Well, he's going to be 25 in 3 weeks, he'll be 25. 4 weeks, he'll be 25. So I think that, we saw him when he was like 22, and I think he's come a long way since then. I think he's shown better takedown defense now. I think he's shown a better ability to pick his shots. I think he's shown a better pace. I think that he's going a little bit more slow. He's not going crazy. He's not overexerting himself as he used to. I also believe he's just more comfortable and they're more experienced. This guy's got a lot of fucking fights. And I was watching Beat the Line podcast. Shout out to the Beat the Line guys there. Wheezy was on it. Dravi, Key, Pegasus. Shout out to all them guys. And I think it was Wheezy who said, or it might have been Key who said, this Rongo guy ain't 25 or ain't 24. And yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. You know what I mean? Who is that other Asian dude who was like lying about his age? Yeah. That motherfucker's fighting soon. They want us to believe he's been 27 for like the last 10 years. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, to see this Rongo being a little bit older than is listed. Just based on first of all, based on his face. Look at that face. And he's had that. And by the way, this isn't a photo that was taken yesterday. This shit's been up there for years. Does that look like a 22-year-old to me? I don't want to be disrespectful, but man, he's got bad genetics if it is, but maybe he's just been punched a lot. You know what I mean? Maybe got calluses. I don't know. But his record as well, 25-6. I wouldn't be surprised if he maybe was a little bit older than he is. But I do think he's improving. I do think he's got better. Coming up against Cody Still, I do believe that we're getting a big price on Rongo. I mean, it's plus 200 at one point. I believe we're getting a big price because Cody Still has got a lot of hype coming off that Contender Series fight. I actually bet on him in that fight. I bet on him to finish that fight inside the distance. Obviously, I was happy when he did it. I just don't think this is a great matchup for him. I believe that his best chance to cover the line will be to take Rongo down and to grapple him because he is a good grappler. You can go a little bit more in depth as the much better grappler of us between the two. So you can maybe touch on the jiu-jitsu and the Tackett brothers, etc., etc. But I know Still is a good grappler. And so we've seen issue with Rongo's game in the grappling. Like if he had any deficiency, it would be in the jiu-jitsu. So maybe Still can smash him on the ground. I just don't think Still's the best wrestler. And I do think that Rongo has really, really tailored his game to be good at anti-wrestling. And so I do feel like the fight could be a stand-up war. And Still likes to throw hammers. Like he's not really going to shoot takedowns consistently. I mean, guys like fell in love with his hands. And rightly so. He's smashing guys with them. So I'm not surprised, right? But I don't think that's going to be good for him in this matchup. He's very hittable. His striking defense is not good. And Rongo can hit very hard, I'll tell you that. So, to me, it seems like if Still doesn't get on top, it's going to be a 50-50 fight. If not, I lean to Rongo a little bit more based on the experience and, the durability and power seems to be almost the same to me. Like, I feel like they both got really good chins and they both hit really hard. So, yeah, I'll take Rongo for a value pick here. I don't think he should be plus 200. And that's my breakdown of the fight, bro.
Yeah, you got bet numbers, right? But there's those pages out there now. They keep track of the predictions. So, for my prediction, yeah, I'll go. I don't think that at all. I'll go with Cody Steele for the pick. But I think this is going to be a competitive fight because I'll give Rongo like the technical boxing, the technical striking. I think Steele could get a little bit wide with his punches, a little bit aggressive to try and get into the clinch, and he definitely leaves himself susceptible to straight shots, which Rongo does have a good one too. I just think that Steele, in his regional scene tape may have fooled some people because like he at some point, he's got to get the experience, right? So he already knows he has the grappling in the bag, right? And it's like, why not go out there? You're supposed to win these fights. Let's try some things that we're not used to doing, And then you could say, hey, why didn't he try to use it more in the Contender Series fight? Well, it's the Contender Series. Now you're, in front of Dana White. It's big expectations. He knew he could walk this guy down, probably gas him, and finish him on the feet. So that's what he did. Here's the thing. I think it does come down to the grappling. Rongo, let's go back and look at the fights, where the grappling was involved. The Shinya fight, I believe. I think that guy is a really good wrestler. Some of the things that he was doing in that fight, shelving the leg, trying to stop Zhang from building his base, using the cage to build his base. He even got a few open mat takedowns, which I think Cody can do as well. Cody's very strong, very physical, though, compared to a guy like Shinya. Like, that's a small Asian guy. Cody's a big American, beefed-up Texas boy. You know what I mean? And now this guy, took his career, is taking his career even more serious as well. About a year ago, I believe, a year maybe and a half ago, he took his stuff, packed it up, and went to Syndicate MMA. Actually taking it serious in a bigger camp, and I think that's only going to help him. He got the experience in the Contender Series. I know this is a debut. It's a lot of hype behind him. This could be the prove it
Austin
spot.
Bashi.
Yeah, it could be like that, right? Like it could be a fraud check almost, right? I don't want to say it like that because I don't think Cody Steele's a fraud. If anything, it would just be Wrong Zoo out techniquing him. But I just think that Cody Steele's aggressive when he wants to get to the top position. I think he can, and even if Wrong Zoo's improving, I just think that Cody Steele's the higher pedigree grappler, more physical than guys like Sengwoo Kim, Shin Haraguchi, has the cardio to push the pace for all 3 rounds. I believe Wrong Zoo has good cardio as well, so I understand the value pick on him, but I'm just going to predict Steele to win this fight. I think he has the better, more well-rounded game, and even if he doesn't have the striking advantage with the clean strikes, I still think that he could take the damage from Wrong Zoo and land his own shots potentially, and maybe even hurt him in the later fight.
Yeah, fair enough. I do see it being a bit of a war, to be honest, unless maybe he takes him down in round 1 off a slip and he just fucks him up on the ground maybe. But I see it being a war. One thing I will say about Cody Steele, he's got some good kicks for a jiu-jitsu guy, and I know we see him get some knockouts with the hands and that, but his kicks are pretty slick, man. So yeah, I'll be interested to see him land some good kicks in this fight.
He doesn't have to be afraid to throw him because what are you going to do? Take him down? So
yeah,
he could just throw him.
Yeah, very, very true, man. I mean, there's nothing worse than going up against the grappler as a striker, and you just know you can't just throw them kicks out there like you would. So yeah, it's obviously a tough guy to fight. Wrong Zoo, luckily, is more of a striker with the boxing, so he's not going to have that problem too much. But he still throws kicks as well. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting fight anyway.
I'll tell you what, I like the overs here. I think both guys are really durable. I think both guys are tough to finish.
They really are, man. It's a weird one because I feel like it's going to be a war. So then I like the under, but I think they're so durable. So I like the over. So usually I just pass on those. But yeah,
bro,
feel free to tell me the price, bro.
Fight goes the distance plus 180. I have to write that down. I'm sorry. Like I have to.
Bro, that's kind of crazy. Jesus. I to be honest, man, I feel like this is
I'm about to
I reckon
play
like
that,
minus
so.
120. I reckon like minus 120 for the doesn't go to decision. So plus 180 is huge.
Yeah, I'm about to play that right now. Not even gonna lie. And yeah, I like the Wrong Zoo decision as well, honestly. I know I said I think Steele wins, but
how much is it?
Plus 600.
Wow.
If this fight goes the distance.
That's off.
Yeah. If this fight goes the distance, I think we're talking about a pretty close fight, or Steele top timed them. So
yeah, like I would say, if Steele wins, I would say more often than not, it is inside the distance. So if it goes to decision, I mean, yeah, Wrong is Zoo live. Bro, Wrong Zoo decision.
I like it. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense, man. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, bro. We got 2 JBs in here, though.
Bro, it's so confusing, man. I'm JB by name. I was born JB. This motherfucker became JB after he turned 18 and started gambling, bro. How can you take my name on my own stream? I can't believe it.
Let's go, dude. What do we got next? Toria. Yep. That's a good one.
Yeah. Oh, man. I don't have much to say about this one, which is kind of good because we kind of need to get through these a little bit quicker. But yeah, man, obviously we got Alexandre Topuria. Look, man, I could sit here for years and talk like this guy's got no tape. I don't really know much about him. Let's just have some fun conversations about this rather than tell you that, it's technicality boxing. You can do that if you want. I don't know anything about this dude because I haven't seen it on tape. He's got fuck all tape in the past 10 years. Before that, he was gassing out in round 3 and getting finished, which is probably Thickness's path here. I will say that I watched a clip earlier of the Topuria brothers taking a polygraph test a lie detector test. I don't know if you've seen that one, but it's like they did it in Spain, I guess, some funny game show or funny TV show or something. And they asked Alexandre who would win it. Like, would you beat Ilya in a fight? And then Ilya started laughing. And then Alexandre was like, yes, I would beat you in a fight. My answer is yes, I would beat you. And then Ilya's like, I don't think he's telling the truth. They was going back and forth. And then they went to the polygraph and it determined that, yes, he was telling the truth. And then Ilya was like, wow, I'm surprised I didn't think you would have that mentality. And that little thing there, and maybe I'm reading into it too much, JB, and maybe I need that tinfoil hat where my man Clint wears, but that told me, and this is not like a hot take, because obviously, right? But that told me that Ilya is so much better than Alexandre, because like Ilya said himself, I didn't think you would believe that. If he's saying that, we obviously know what goes down in sparring, which we would know anyway, but this is a nice little confirmation bias, right? So obviously Ilya is the better fighter. We don't know how good this Toria is. He came back after 6 years away or something like that, with the heavy boxing lead hand bouncing style of the Toporias, whereas he didn't have that before. So it's quite interesting. They move the same. They move very similar. They fight very similar. So yeah, it's just going to be an interesting fight, man. Colby's obviously, one thing which is also very interesting about this is that Colby Thickness is Alexander Volkanovski's main training partner, or one of his training partners, and then Toria is Ilya's main training partner, and obviously they already have history. They're going to fight again, so it's quite interesting, to see the way. I'm sure they did this on purpose. I've heard rumblings on the Beat the Line podcast that they signed Colby for a 1-fight deal. I didn't do my homework to check if that's true. I also don't really know if the UFC do that, like usually, and then they re-sign them if like they put up a good performance or something. So yeah, I'd like to like do my homework on that one, because if they did really sign him on a 1-fight deal as a plus 400 underdog, it's first of all, it's taking a piss a little bit, and second of all, it's like they're kind of telling you, they're showing their hand. So yeah, it's very hard for anyone to make a prediction on this fight. I think if you play anything, maybe you put a small poke on Colby Thickness, because there's no return on investment laying a minus 500 here with something which just based on vibes. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, the vibes are good coming from people like Merab and Ilya, but Merab is loyal to the Toria brothers through training. They've trained together for years at different times, and loyal to them through nationality and friendship. So he ain't going to come out here and say that Toria is a bum, is he? He's obviously going to big him up. And then obviously Ilya's going to big him up because it's his blood brother. So I ain't just going to listen to those people. So yeah, man, I don't know. Thickness is a dog. I know that. It'll fight for your money. I know that. Thickness round 3 might be plus $1 million. Might be worth a quarter unit. So yeah, I mean, you can close this one out, JB. Nothing much to say.
Yeah, I really like the Mighty Mouse's breakdown of this one. I like Mighty Mouse's channel a lot. A few of the channels that I like want to shout out, like that you guys probably might watch as well. Mighty Mouse, of course, dude. I think he's one of the greatest minds in the sport. Anytime that guy's talking, I'm gonna listen. Faraz Zahabi, whenever he's talking about the fights, I like to listen. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna take everything they say as a prediction, but I like to listen to them because the knowledge. And another guy from your parts, Dan Hardy. I think he's super knowledgeable. I actually really like his podcast as well. I like when he talks about the fights. But yeah, a little bit of what Mighty said. He thinks this guy has a similar style as Ilya, a little bit less of the XY head movement. But he likes the way that he moves, and I do as well. On the eye test, I think Toria, is good. But like you said, it's just we don't know. It's the level of competition is absolutely abysmal. I'm not going to blame him for the round 3 loss that long ago, but I just also can't trust him. So, yeah, it's dog or pass for me. I'm going to predict Alexandre Toria. I think he's working with the right guys. I think his grappling's there. I think he get the submission here on Thickness, probably like 2-3, even early in the fight. So, if he gets on top, finds the back, I think he can find the choke here or even a finish. But I'm not willing to bet on it. So, this is just going to be a complete pass for me, bro. I don't want nothing to do with it. We could just move on to the next one, bro. Ilya's brother's going to get it done. And then he'll get fraud checked in like the next fight.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not putting anything in here in parlays. So yeah, we can just go straight on, bro. It's too risky.
Well, when you don't have enough data, it's kind of just best just to pass sometimes, unless you actually have the edge and you know that you got like inside info.
Yeah.
I don't see how you can, go anything but the dog.
I honestly feel like there is an edge. All right. This is what I said to some of my VIP guys before. When we talk about edges, right, we need to have an edge on MMA to make money on sports betting in general. I know for a fact we have an edge on the market in that fight, and that is Colby Thickness money line, right? That's a guarantee because the only reason he is that price is based on his surname. It's not based on the skill set. We know that for a fact. That's 100% guarantee. I don't think anyone would sit in front of me right now and argue that. Even the dumbest people on Twitter, I still believe that they wouldn't argue that. So that's a guaranteed edge we have. Now, we don't have an edge on the fight because maybe Ilya's Alexandre's true line is minus 1,000. We won't know that until after the fight, and even then we won't know it. But we do know we have an edge on the market because the market is betting this dude because his surname, not because of his skill set, because we don't know his skill set, right? So we do have an edge on the market, and that is Thickness money line. Doesn't mean you have to play it because you might not have an edge on the actual fight. I may get to some type of Thickness 2 free play because I've seen Toria gas out. I feel like if Thickness is still there, he's going to make you gas as well. He's got that type of style. So, yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see how it goes. I might even chuck half a unit on Thickness, man, just for the vibes.
Could be worth a poke.
Just a half a unit. Ain't going to kill me. You know what I mean? But yeah, next fight is Kong Wang versus Bruno Brazil. Bruno Brazil is called the special one, but Kong Wang is called the Joker. But I believe they should swap nicknames because I think Kong Wang is special and I think Bruno Brazil is a bit of a joker. Not in a, I don't want to be rude, but like in this matchup, there's going to be one joker. I think Kong Wang is the truth. I think she's a very, very good fighter. I believe that she was probably value at minus 700, minus 800, minus 900 in her last fight, even though she lost. I believe she wins that fight around 95% of the time. Gabriel Fernandez has a few tools that allowed her to win the fight. So maybe I'm going a little bit overboard with 95. Maybe it's like 90, 85. It is possible. But, watching that iteration of the fight, it seemed like, she was at least 9 out of 10, which is not a crazy thing to say. I don't think so. Gabriel Fernandez has good durability, better than Bruno Brazil, I'll tell you that. Very good physicality, much better than Bruno Brazil, I'll tell you that. And she hits harder, much harder than Bruno Brazil. So, that allowed her to win the fight. She was getting absolutely dog-walked. She was getting dominated, beat down, embarrassed. Kong Wang was embarrassing her so bad on the feet that she started laughing mid-fight and showboating. That actually got her knocked out. If she didn't showboat, she wouldn't have got knocked out. That was an easy fight for her. They could fight tomorrow, and she could 30-26 her with her hand behind her back. Like, that wasn't anything that wasn't a hard fight at all for Wang. It was nothing really happened. She got caught with a head kick because she was showboating, and then she got submitted. She got submitted because she gave up her back straight away because she instantly tried to get up because she's just like, fuck, I can't believe I got knocked down. Let me get back up straight away because she's a striker. And then obviously you can't be doing that. It's not kickboxing, you can't be doing that in MMA because you get your back taken. So I think Kong Wang is going to beat the shit out of Bruno Brazil here. She's the way better striker. She's also the bigger girl. She'll land the better shots. The striking difference is brutal in this one, boys. And, JB can, go in depth about a lot of jiu-jitsu stuff. I can go in depth about a lot of striking stuff. And I'm telling you now, the striking in this fight, for a woman's fight, because in women's fights, it's always a bit closer. The striking gap is massive. I do think Bruno Brazil can have some success on the mat if she gets it there. I just don't think she'll be able to get it there. Reason is because she's moving up in weight class. First of all, UFC basically said you got to move up. That's not good. Kong Wang's big as it is, and now she's moving up in weight class against a bigger girl. Like, I don't think it's going to be good for her, especially in the grappling. Kong Wang has very good hips, very strong. She'll be able to defend the takedowns, in my opinion. She could even get a takedown of her own if she wants. And I think she's just going to smash her on the feet. Does she finish her? At the end of the day, she's a 125-pound girl. You know what I mean? She's very, very light. So I can't say 100% she's going to finish her. I am predicting a finish in round 2 and round 3. I mean, Kong Wang hurts basically everyone she's ever fought in MMA. She puts the pressure on everyone she's ever fought in MMA. She has girls panicking every time they fight her. She had Valentina cheating and panicking badly in a kickboxing fight damn near 10 years ago. And her style hasn't changed. She just walks forward and just basically hurts you and puts hands on you. So I think that Bruna Brazil is going to be a little bit in over her head here. Round 2 or 3 finishes the way I see it. But I could see a wide decision, a 30-27 decision or something like that. The only upside I give Brazil is on the mat. I just personally don't think she's going to get it there. But it's not impossible. It is MMA. But yeah, I like Wang here. I think she's value at -400.
Yeah, I don't want to waste our time since we got to zoom through a few of these. But I think Brazil just doesn't have the offensive wrestling to get it to the mat. I see it more of a like round 3 decision because maybe she just made that mistake in the last fight. She decides like, hey, I don't want to get too over aggressive. I think that's kind of how she gets caught with her shots. She's in such an offensive flow state that she can forget about the defense sometimes, especially when she's starting to, press forward and steam. She, obviously is a little bit more explosive in the beginning rounds than the late rounds, but I don't think her cardio is bad. So I think it could be a little bit more of an attritional KO rather than how we saw Denise Gomes, who just absolutely cracks, catch her. I don't know. I don't really want to pick a method on this one. I like the Kong Wang side. I'm not willing to play it at a money line standpoint, though, personally, because we've seen her lose in the last fight. She has, not gotten the job done at this price tag before, but I don't think it's similar fight styles anyway, and this is a new fight, so let her prove it. I actually kind of like fight goes at -155, but if anybody does get the finish, it's Wang. Let me see. Wang 2 is +550. Wang 3 is +750. I'm cool with that. I don't got nothing on that one.
Okay, nice, bro.
Okay, we got, what's the next fight? Is it Nolan versus Slava?
Yes. Let me know what you think about that one.
All right, so we talked about this one a little bit yesterday. I like the under 1.5 a lot because the exact reasons that we talked about. I think Slava Kloss has some questionable durability at certain times. I believe he's the better clean boxer. I think he's got really good combos. He'll go body, leg, head, leg, body. He switches it up a lot. I think this guy's striking very, very crisp. Tom Nolan himself has been hurt in multiple fights. I believe he got dropped by Martinez. Definitely got knocked out by Moda. He's been dropped in the regional. So I think he's a little bit suspect with the durability. I like Slava here. I think he's the better, cleaner striker. He can get caught. So I like the under 1.5. I think 7.5 minutes is long enough with these guys. I like violence. Fight doesn't go. I don't see this going to the decision. I think Slava is the one who gets it done. So I actually like him to win via KO as well, whatever the number is. That's my prediction on the fight. I think he gets it done with a liver shot, probably round 2, 3. I don't want to say 2, 3. Probably like round 2.
Yeah, nice. Interesting that you called him liver shot because obviously Tom Nolan's shown some bad durability to the head, but not so much to the body. But Slava cracks the body.
Who was the guy that like Shannon Ross, like Park hurt him to the body,
Yep.
right? It was kind of crazy because he's the chinny guy, but I think it's similar because of the skill level, and I just think that who was the guy that he folded with that liver shot? Was it Dakota Bush? I think it was, dude.
Yeah.
This guy's got some nasty combos when he throws. Lon Top's a tough SOB. I don't think Nolan has the same durability. I think Slava's going to do his little dance. He's going to go out there, and Slava Kloss is coming to town. You already know what it is. Big train going down. The train has left the building.
Fair enough, bro. That's pretty passionate take on a pick'em. I see the fight ending as well. I don't know who's going to get it. I'll go with Tom Nolan just because, why not? We'll have a little bit of discourse. Tom Nolan's the younger guy by many, many years. And I think Slava has probably got worse and worse. I feel like he was probably in his prime maybe about 3 years ago. He's still a tough out for anyone on the feet, but Tom Nolan has all the grappling upside here, which, definitely makes me lean to him in a pick him because I really feel like on the feet, it's just who lands first. I genuinely believe it's who lands first. And you could say, Slava's way better striker, so he'll land first. But I know you remember what Chase Hooper did to that guy. So, I mean,
that was the slowest strike ever. But I think that also could do with having to worry about such a big takedown threat that he might have caught him with the guard down.
But Tom Nolan has some takedown threat here as well, man.
He's kind of mid with the wrestling. I think,
I think Slava's terrible though.
yeah, he's just not really good at defending takedowns. He's good at getting up. He's really
Yeah,
scrambly. He'll start spinning like a dreidel,
he's
But
got no takedown defense, bro. Like he's got zero. It's like it's like he's doing a drill where you have to get up from bottom, and then he lets you he lets the opponent take him down, and then he starts working. So I could definitely see Nolan taking him down. Especially, I feel like this is just so volatile to me. I could definitely see Nolan getting hurt, shooting a takedown, getting to mount, ground and pounding, getting reversed. Like this is just a horrible fight. I'll go with Nolan, especially because he was the underdog, but now he's to pick him, and I believe that the line movement is correct because I don't think anyone should have a plus money next to their name. If anything, I'd actually make Nolan the slighter favorite just because trajectory-wise, I do think he has that on his side. Obviously, I feel like he learned a little bit from the Motta fight. I know we've seen him after that potentially not learn, but I don't know. I do think maybe. I mean, the Motta fight was the most stupid he's ever been. So maybe he hasn't learned fully, but I do think he learned at least a little bit. And then he's younger. He can crack himself. So I'll go with Nolan, but it's not a confident pick. I think someone gets killed. I like the under 1.5. That's like a pick 'em or some shit. I also like that doesn't go to decision. So what's the lines for those, bro? And anything else you want to add in?
Nah, I like it. -325. Fight ends inside the distance. I think that's like minus 1,000 in all honesty. Yeah. And under 1.5 is -115. It was plus 100 when I bet it, but I got a big bet on the under 1.5 here, guys. So wish me luck.
I like it, bro. I like it. Yeah. So we'll move on, bro. Jenkins versus Gabriel Santos. You want to take us away? This is a great fight. Both of these guys are my boys.
I think this is a really good fight. We got Jack Farr Jenkins, who's known for the low kicks, very good striker. He can be grappled sometimes, as we've seen in his fights. He's got solid cardio. Good IQ fighter as well, in my opinion. He understands where he's good and what his opponent's weaknesses are, and he fights to that strategy. We've seen him pull close decisions away from guys like Jamal Emmers. He's got obviously a few low kick knockouts as well. You can say what you want about the Herbert Burns fight, but he took his time there. He knew where he had to avoid. But I will say, though, getting taken down 2 times by Herbert Burns in 2024 is not the best look, in my opinion. Like, he's given up takedowns to Don Shanis, who, came at him aggressively. Jamal Emmers, not the best grappler, in my opinion. So these guys are able to take you down. I believe Gabriel Santos, who got 5 takedowns on Lerone Murphy, actually, uses setups to get to his takedowns at the right time as well. He has the striking to enter the pocket and actually get to where he needs to be so you can get these takedowns. So they're not really forced. And he's got a little bit of a submission threat as well, where we've seen Jack Jenkins outed. I just think, he's got him kind of covered everywhere, in my opinion, other than maybe, the leg kicks. I think Gabriel Santos is the better grappler. I think he's got the striking to compete with him, maybe even the slightly better striker, more dangerous, in my opinion. He's got just as good, if not, he's got just as good cardio as well. And I think he's fought in the higher level of competition. Lerone Murphy, solid, fight, even though he didn't win that fight. It was close. David Onama, in my opinion, is really good. So, yeah. And he did what he was supposed to do against Yiza. Didn't finish him, but he did basically everything but that. And I just think this is another good spot for Santos. He has a couple of losses, so maybe you don't want to parlay him, but I think he's a good spot here. Actually, one of my favorite fighters to bet on this card. I would say you could even maybe parlay him, in all honesty, just because the only path I see for Jack Jenkins here is like a decision, and it's going to be a close decision as well. I don't see him knocking him out. He's definitely not subbing him, so I put that at like 30-35%. I don't know exactly where that is in relevance to the line, but yeah, I like Santos here. I think he gets the win, and I like fight goes as well. I do not see a finish in this fight. If there's a finish here, it's Santos got the sub, and I just think Jack Jenkins improved. He knows not to get into those spots, and I think you'd have to hurt him first to get there. So I really like the over here as well.
Nice, bro. Yeah, I agree with you for the most part. I see this fight similar to the main event. because you got one guy who's, around minus 200 odd. And you've got the sentiment and the narrative and probably the truth being that it's a competitive fight. But then you got one guy who has all the upside in the finishing, all the upside in the grappling and just more tools in general. And I think we have that on the Santos side here. I believe that this should be a competitive fight because I think Jack Jenkins is a competitive guy and you don't just blow him out of the water. I don't think you can really just blow Jenkins out of the water. I don't really think it exists. But I think Santos is probably the better striker. Although it is close because, Jenkins is a solid guy. But I think Santos is probably the better striker. He hits just as hard, if not harder. He's more aggressive as well. So I feel like that plays into him having more finishing upside, even on the feet. I think that he's got all the grappling upside here. I think he's a better black belt. I think he got the back take upside. I think he's got the grappling upside, just top time upside. And like you said, same thing with cardio. He's got just as good cardio. So it should be competitive in all realms, but Santos should be one step ahead in all realms. I think Santos will bust up the face of him. I think he'll grapple him. I think he'll take the back. I think he could even get the submission here. I'm not as confident on the GTD as you because I think I like the submission maybe a little bit more.
I think that's how it ends. If it ends, that's the path. Like 100%.
Yeah. So, this is a little bit worrying. Dixon saying James guaranteed end split, Jack split home cooking. One thing I'll say about that is, it's interesting because I bet on Gabriel Santos in his debut as a plus 150 underdog against Lerone Murphy. And I scored the fight for him. And most other people scored the fight for him as well. So I don't think I'm being biased. It was a close fight, but it was in England, which is Lerone Murphy's home country. And then they gave it to Murphy, right? And so now we got a similar thing where it's like, it's going to be competitive. Jack Jenkins and Lerone Murphy against Santos, going to be a similar fight. It should be competitive. And then it's in Australia, which is Jack Jenkins' hometown. So is Santos going to get robbed again? Santos hasn't had any luck in the UFC. He was beating up David Onama, smashing David Onama, and then he gets knocked out, right? It's like, and then before that, obviously, he had the decision go against him. So he hasn't got a lot of luck in the UFC so far. So it'd be interesting to see if that happens again, because he'd be one of the most unlucky fighters up there with like Beneil Dariush not getting a title shot or something like that. So yeah, I am a little bit worried about the home cooking. I never was a couple of years ago, but to be honest, boys, like these days, after seeing it time and time again, it is a little bit more of a worry than it used to be for me. So yeah, I think that's a valid point you made. I just got to go with the better fighter. And I think he can win it cleanly enough to negate the hometown cooking, but we shall see.
Dude, some of these comments got me cracking up. This guy, Jacob Nolan, he said, I like the respect on my brother's name. And I think it was Dixon Sider that I was arguing with about Slava. He don't think Slava's chinny. I think Slava's chinny, bro.
Slava's terribly chinny. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's why he blocked me, bro. The guy got to unblock me. Who else was it?
Do you want,
dude,
JB,
we hit a long shot. What are you talking about?
No, JB, wait. You know this dude with the woman's name. You want to answer him, bro? Because he's asking a question.
Bro, the last time we did an episode, we hit a long shot, bro. Like 11
last
to 1.
Episode.
What are you talking about?
Last episode, we hit a 10 to 1. Plus 1,000. Who's doing that? I forgot about that, by the way. And now I can gloat about it. Thanks for reminding me, because I completely forgot. We hit the Buckley one. Do you boys remember that? We had the Buckley KO and a bunch of other legs in it. I can't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, that was against Colby Covington. That was the last time we did an episode. And it was like, what, 10 to 1? 11 to 1?
Yeah, it was like 11 to 1, bro. Smacked.
He's a little fucking wet wipe.
Let's go, Gus.
Gus is an OG. Gus is an OG.
Hell yeah, dude. I got to use the restroom real quick, though. If you could take this next fight, bro.
No, go on, bro. Go on.
We got what's
JB's
the next one?
eating. We got
never been KO. Come on.
Matthews versus Prates. Dixon. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to go too in on this one, but I mean, the guy's getting dropped and wobbled by everyone. Don't you think being chinny means like you get hurt and wobbled? It doesn't always mean like you're constantly getting KO'd, right? Like, I'm trying to think of an example, but like even with Slava, right? He got wobbled by that wrestler dude on the regional scene badly. He got dropped by. If you're getting dropped by Chase Hooper, surely you got a bad chin. If you get dropped by Chase Hooper, how can you not be chinny and get dropped by Chase Hooper? Surely that should do your argument right there. No? Rob Font is a great example. He's probably the best example in the UFC. Rob Font is chinny as fuck. The guy's he never gets KO'd, ever. He doesn't even get TKO'd. That's how bad Rob Font is. He doesn't even get TKO'd, but he's one of the most chinny fighters in the UFC. No need to get riled up. Nah, we're just playing with you, bro. Don't worry. You talk shit about us never hitting the parlay, you get shit talk back. You need to be able to take it, my brother. Is Prado a good bet? We're going to get into it right now. Not the same. What do you mean not the same? You can't just say not the same without no rebuttal, bro. That's not how it works. All right, anyway, we're getting to the next fight, boys. It's Jake Matthews versus Francisco Prado. And this is probably a good time to plug my website. If you want all my official picks for the regional scene, all of my official bets and full card breakdowns, long shot parlays, long shot props, you can go to lucrativemmabetting.com, or you can just watch the free stuff that I put out every single week. But obviously, if you want to go a little bit more in depth, bunch of stuff on the website like training videos, how to bet on MMA, how to not get banned from the sports books, which is fucking me right now.
I'm signed up for like the email. I love the stuff that you keep sending, dude. And I'm watching all the YouTube content, bro. Yeah, guys, I wouldn't just mention it for no reason. So he's saying about it. Take my word for it, guys. I'm a member as well, so you guys should sign up, get it. It's not that expensive, relatively, for what the returns you get. And I'm a consumer as well. So honestly, man, I think you guys are missing out if you're not included. So James, one of the OGs of the game, very smart, very knowledgeable, and even if it's not just a play, some of the articles that the guy writes up, and definitely subscribe at least to the emails.
Yeah, those are all free as well. Those emails are all free. I appreciate you, by the way. But yeah, those emails are all free. Just trying to give out game, sending out daily emails. Yeah, what we did like an underdog one today. But yeah, if you're not signed up to the email list, you just go to my website, go to free tips, type in your email, and you get free daily emails on like how to earn money from MMA and stuff like that. So yeah. But yeah, boys, let's get into the next one. Jake Matthews, Francisco Prado. A couple people were asking in the chat. Fourth Density wants to know if it's a good bet. He's saying maybe Prado plus 3.5. What do you think about this one, bro? You got any opinion?
I just don't like the spread bets, in all honesty. I don't know like what way there is to really assess value on them.
Tough.
Man, this really just is a binary one, man. And it comes down to if Jake Matthews is going to wrestle or not. I don't think he's going to wrestle. It's just my opinion. I'm going on hearsay, going on theory. When the guy's having trouble taking down some of these other guys that are low level, like what's his best win in the UFC? Wagner Hocha back in the day, like
might have to go way back in the day.
And like, dude, who's his like submission wins in the UFC? You're gonna say he's gonna take down and submit Prado. Maybe he could take down and control him to a decision, but I don't know if he 15 minutes just top times him here. It's Jake Matthews, guys. We're talking about 10-6 as a favorite. He's constantly shitted the bed before. Obviously, we have to look at stylistically. Stylistically, I give it to Jake Matthews. I think he's a cleaner striker. I think he's got him outsized physically as well. That's an intangible that he has. But Prado's does have some intangibles on his side as well. Even though he has to lunge into some of these punches, he does have power behind him. I'll give him the power. I give him the durability edge. We've seen Jake Matthews knocked down multiple times by Matthew Semelsberger. He even got out-grappled in that fight by a lesser wrestler, Semelsberger, who's not that good. Now you got a guy, Prado, who's 22 years old. He's obviously taken a little time off. He's only going to be improving. He showed nothing but heart and determination in that last fight. Obviously, that's not always going to win you the fight, but I do give that, something. He has power as well, like I said. We saw that in the Zaytar fight. He can clean you. He did get out wrestled by Jamie Mullarkey, but that was a UFC debut. And Mullarkey, not the worst wrestler in the world. I think Jake Matthews, it's just really a big question mark on if he's going to be able to consistently grapple him for 15 minutes. And like you said, if he can't, man, I think that Prado is going to cause him some problems because he's not going to stop. He's got 15 minutes of really good cardio, and he's going to keep coming forward no matter what you throw at him. So Jake Matthews doesn't decide to wrestle him here, it's going to be a big problem, and I like Prado at the underdog price tag. I think he could even knock him out.
Same. But this guy don't wrestle, bro. You know, in your breakdown, as I was listening to your breakdown, and you said, oh, well, I'm kind of going off hearsay that he's not going to wrestle. But I don't think so, bro. Like, aren't you just going off tape? Because when I'm watching this guy's tape, I'm waiting for him to wrestle, and he just doesn't do it, man. The guy hardly wrestles. He prefers to box. When he does wrestle, sometimes he looks good, sometimes he doesn't. But like, he's obviously got the skill set in his back pocket, and I think he's got enough of it to beat Prado. We see what his countryman Mullarkey did, but by the way, that was also like 2 years ago. Prado's a young kid. He's definitely got way better since then. I'm almost certain of it. But at the same time, like, Matthews just don't grapple, man. So yeah, I mean, we can't. If you're betting on Matthews, you have to be guessing his game plan, in my opinion, because on the feet, there's no way he's minus 200. There's just no way. It's like it's probably even. You know, if maybe even he's an underdog on the feet, because I feel like he's probably better technically, but I don't think he has as much dog on the feet. I don't think his durability as good on the feet, and I don't think he hits as hard on the feet. So I feel like he could be the dog on the feet. And as well, you cap in the potential improvements from Prado, and there ain't going to be much improvements from Matthews, in my opinion. I haven't seen him got better over the last few years. So it's like, yeah, I think Prado's the side all day here. I know Matthews has been getting money, but I think if he doesn't grapple, he ain't the side. So yeah, I like Prado money line. Prado KO if it's crazy, but probably feel like the one goes to decision more often than not.
This guy reminds me of like a little Argentinian Drew Dober, bro.
Yeah, that's what Dravi said as well. He kind of is, bro.
I listened to them a little bit, but I didn't get even close to that fight. I'll have to go back and listen to it. It sounds like you got they put in some work there. I saw Uncle Weezy was on there too. There's a lot of good content this week, so shout out to those dudes as well. Shout out to all the guys that are rocking with us, and you know, it's a lot of content out there. So you guys are with us.
A lot of content these days, bro. Like even a year ago when me and you did this, there wasn't as much content as there is now. And then when I started like 5-6 years ago, there was hardly any. And then when people like you know, I was listening to like Dan Half the Battle and Cody Saftich and Paul Shaughnessy. You know, those guys kind of paved the way for everyone. But there was basically nothing out there. When I was doing it, Z's MMA, you know, he was the first one who had me on. Shout out Z. Do you know Z, bro? You kind of resemble Z in a way, bro.
The only reason I know of him is because of you mentioning him, but no, other than that.
I tried to keep his name alive, but I don't know. He's dead out here in these streets. I don't know where he is. I hope my boy Z is all right. I think right now Z is probably tripping off of mushrooms somewhere in the Canadian mountains. It's snowing, and he's just like, he's not thinking of anything degenerate, no gambling, nothing. I think the guy's transcended. So shout out to my man Z. Hopefully one day you come back on the scene, brother, and I can introduce you to all of the new people. But yeah, Z's
tough grind,
the guy.
man. People come and go. It's just like jiu-jitsu, you know. People come and go.
Yeah, it's true, bro.
Different points in life, stuff happens, and it's a grind, man. The content game. Speaking of content, man, and speaking of Half the Battle, I'm gonna be having a show tomorrow with my man Half the Battle. And another special guest, guys. Make sure if you're watching this video, I got 280 something subscribers right now on my YouTube channel. You go over to my Twitter at MMA Jewish Better. You go to my YouTube channel, and I'm going to need you to subscribe. I should have at least 312 subscribers. If we have that many people watching, guys, just takes 2 seconds. Go subscribe to my YouTube. I'm going to be putting out a show every week, at least till the end of this year. And appreciate my man James, because he's the one that got me inspired to start this in the first place, man. So we're going to keep the legacy going. We're going to keep the grind, and glad to be back on Parlay Madness, my man.
Yeah, man, it's been fun, bro. It's been fun. And but boys, if you're in here, we got 501 live viewers in here right now, right? Maybe like 250 are on YouTube or a bit less. If you're on YouTube, open up a new tab. Just click on another video. Open a new tab. Keep this video open. Go to, what did I have to type in? Jewish Better.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't find it through just looking up Jewish Better, all one word, go to my Twitter, my X, and the link's right in the bio.
Jewish Better.
Right to there.
Jewish Better MMA or Matzo Money, Matzo. Let's go now and smash Jewish's Better subscribe account so he keeps on coming back on Parlay Madness, because I know you boys want this show to be a weekly thing again. So yeah, let's get him up subscribers right now as we're doing this, and we will write down the Prado money line odds, bro, if you have it.
Like the video too. Like the
Oh yeah,
video.
do that as well.
I
You got
love
the
it.
Prado money line, bro?
I think he's plus 185. Sorry, I was occupied. I forgot I'm odds man here. Oh
All good,
yeah,
all good.
baby. Let's go. Prado is plus 205. That's ridiculous, bro.
Woo!
That's ridiculous. I bet him at plus 185. I thought his line was gonna go the other way.
Fuck, I know that's mad. Do we like anything else? I don't really want to
I don't like
stretch it.
the numbers on any props personally.
Yeah.
But up to you. Over
What?
2.5 is like minus 175 on the over 2.5. I don't like that. If
Nah,
anything,
that's
I like
shit.
I don't like it at all.
Nah, that's
I'll
shit.
take the money line, bro.
Yeah, yeah, sweet. We're in agreement. All right, so next fight is
We're
is
on the
this
main
Jimmy?
card now, bro. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, let's go.
this is heating up now. This is heating up. I think it's the Jimmy Crute fight. This is
Jimmy Crute.
but I don't know about this one, man. Jimmy Crute, obviously, Jimmy Crute had many issues with like alcohol and just being a regular Aussie. You know, them motherfuckers love to. He's the typical Aussie, bro. He's fucking got a mullet and drinks a lot of piss. You know, they call alcohol piss.
I did not know that whatsoever, bro.
Bro, I'll tell you a funny story. Yeah, when I first moved to like Australia and New Zealand ways, yeah, I went to I was working construction, right? This was like 6-7 years ago. I was working construction. I was doing my betting on the side. I was trying to make it full time. Yeah, this is the origin stories. I was trying to make it full time, but I was still working. And yeah, I was doing construction. And then one day after work, this old fella, about 40, 50 years old, was like, "Yeah, James, you know, what are you doing this weekend?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know, mate. Like, probably just like watch the fights or whatever, do some training." And then he's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna bring the truck up and we'll just drink a bunch of piss." And I was like, "What?" And obviously, you know, where I'm from, piss means you're pissing out of your dick. You know what I mean? Like pee, like piss, urine means urine, yeah. And then I was like, "What?" I couldn't believe it. I was like, he's like, "Yeah, yeah. Usually I just bring a couple bottles of piss in my car and we all drink it after work." And I said, "You drink piss like that?" Yeah. And then like by his reaction, I've kind of realized that it ain't that what he's talking about, you know, because I'm like, no, he's acting really weird. So he must not be talking about that. And then I think someone must have just said to me, like, no, like, you know, I think he mentioned me, yeah, like beer, vodka, like whatever he said. And I was like, oh, okay. And then like the next day, I was like, I asked one of my other mates, like, "Mate, do you like call alcohol piss?" And he was like, yeah. And yeah, that was the way I get introduced to the Aussie slang. That was a funny time, man.
Yeah, this guy reminds me a little bit of like a Grant Dawson, bro. Kind of reminds me of like an Aussie Dawson.
He kind of looks like him. Is that what you mean?
Dude. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So what I was saying, the whole story is that this guy looks like a typical Aussie, a mullet who drinks piss. And that's exactly what a lot of them are like out here. And, you know, he's mentioned he's had a lot of issues with alcohol before. He also had like a almost, I think, 18-month layoff now. And so, you know, coming back from some alcohol issues, coming back from 18-month layoff after getting the shit beaten out of you, showing terrible fight IQ in the Alonzo Menafield fight, after taking hella punishment in your short career at a young age, there's alarm bells ringing. Now, if Jimmy Crute comes back a little bit improved, or even the Jimmy Crute of old, as long as he's not got terrible fight IQ like he kind of used to, then I think he can win this fight. And I think he can win this fight via KO. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a knockout in this one, because Belato's chin is not all that. And Belato's chin is there to be cracked as well. So he ain't got the best chin, and he also hasn't got the best defensives. So I wouldn't be surprised if Jimmy Crute cracks him here. But like, how can you trust someone like Crute coming back off all the issues that I just said? You basically can't. So yeah, I mean, I ain't going to pick a money line side on this one, but I will say that Jimmy Crute KO at plus 600 is crazy. I will say Jimmy Crute KO 1 at plus 1200 is crazy. And that's the way I look at the fight. What about you, JB?
I sprinkled both of those already. I think it could be club and sub possibly, but I don't really see it. I think he's going to chuck wings, like wing and bombers. We really just don't even know where this guy's mentally at. Came off of that crazy loss against Alonzo Menafield, and he put the gloves down in the octagon. Normally, when I see that, this guy's going to be an auto fade next time out, regardless of who he's going against. But then you tell me that you're giving me him Rodolfo Bellato. And now I start to question, what do I remember about Bellato? Been knocked out twice in the first round before. So, if anything, I know Jimmy Crute could still punch. It's not like the guy completely stopped training. He obviously still has power. He might fight like an idiot, but he definitely can crack in the first round. Seen it. He's got 4 or 5 first-round finishes in the UFC. And he's fought in some stiff competition as well. Like Jamal Hill, are we really going to shame him for that loss? I know Jamal Hill lost his last fight, but that's a top 5 light heavyweight. What was the other guy that he fought? Starting to slip my mind now. Dang it. I just had it. Anthony Smith, he was winning that fight. He was winning the Smith fight, though, until he had that, I believe it was the weird thing with his leg. And that's just a nerve thing, right? You get hit in that perennial nerve, and the leg just kind of shuts off. So a little bit of a weird one. I just really don't know where Crute's at. So, yeah, I'm with you, dude. I like those sprinkles, and I even don't mind the fight doesn't go the distance. I believe it's minus. It took a little steam. It was minus 220, and now it's minus 250. Both these guys seem like pretty bad defensive liabilities to me, and Jimmy Crute could just find the door at any moment. And Rodolfo Bellato, even though he's been hurt by Toria, Toria gassed and he got out of there. So, I like violence here. Not sure about the under necessarily, but it seems interesting at plus 110. And I like Crute KO 1.
Yeah, I agree. I don't necessarily love the doesn't go at the big price.
Minus 250 is a bit good. I see there is a world where Crute could top time him, honestly.
Yeah,
or
for sure.
After 1.5, I could see both these guys getting really sloppy, and this just being a fight that goes the distance that nobody sees go. Nobody this week's calling for this fight to go the distance, bro.
It happened with Crute before with Alonzo Menafield first fight, and I know that shouldn't have gone. That was a crazy fight, but they did go to decision. Crute has been to decision a couple of times outside of that, and Bellato has been to decision, I believe, once or twice. I'm just saying, at minus 250, Jimmy Crute coming back, is a little bit more volatility. And I definitely think this one's finishing.
Great point.
Maybe we don't play the minus 250. Although definitely should finish.
Yeah, extra volatility with him coming back. I like that you mentioned that. Yeah, that's sharp. Yeah. So what are we going to write down here? The KO for Crute and KO 1?
Yeah, are we really going to put KO1 to a parlay? You're a crazy motherfucker, so you might, but it's, definitely.
In all honesty, probably not, but we could write it down.
Yeah, we can write it down.
Crute KO is plus 450. Crute KO 1. Yeah, I'm sure the line shop guys, you'll be able to find it.
These are the shit odds. This is a bowl. Right. You probably get way better odds than we're writing down.
Right. Crute KO 1's plus 1,200. I think you'll probably get plus 15 on another book. Maybe plus 1,200. I even think 1,200 is fine.
Yeah, I agree. My man Tanner's sitting on a beach at Bondi, which is in Sydney. Are you going to the fights this weekend, bro? Taking a dip. That's the life, bro. Listening to Parlay Madness in the Australian beach, and Bondi has the highest concentration of hot blonde women you'll ever see in your life, bro. Sounds if you like hot blondes, I don't know your style, JB, but if you like that, you want to take a trip. You're greedy, bro. You're a Jew, bro. You want them all. But yeah, definitely, man. Bondi's the place. I used to go there a lot.
Got
good memories in Bondi.
Get some tuchus.
Whatever that means. I can guess. All right, so next fight of the night, boys. We're closing towards the end now. A couple of fights left. Teixeira versus Justin Tafa. I think we can breeze through this one because this fight is going to be a breeze for someone. I think it's going to end in the first round. Doesn't start round 2. Might be a nice plus money prop you can take there, maybe plus 100 or something like that. I think someone is going down. I'm going to predict it to be Teixeira, this guy who's got some hype coming in off the Dana White's Contender Series, who I don't see doing very well in the UFC. I think he can get some wins because of how brutal his style is. You told me on Spaces that this guy used to have jiu-jitsu in his name, BJJ, in his Instagram name.
I don't know how legit it is, but...
yeah. It's interesting, right? It's interesting because obviously Tanner's saying he's going and he's surrounded by blonde bunda. Yeah, good man, bro. Live it up. to take one for me as well. So yeah, I think Teixeira is interesting because like if he does have the jiu-jitsu in his back pocket, and like boys, we're literally going on Instagram usernames here, so we're just sprinkling it in. We ain't fucking making big predictions on it. We're just mentioning everything. So that was a good call by you. But if he does have the jiu-jitsu in his back pocket, then I believe that he might just wreck Justin Tafa because this guy can't grapple. You know, typical like Islander Aussie guy in the UFC just doesn't have much grappling. But I will tell you what. It is better than some of the other guys, like Taito Avasa. It does seem to be somewhat potentially improving. He does stay safe. You know, he got up a couple of times against Carl Williams, almost knocked him out. I don't know, man. Justin Tafa, I don't think he's insta-tap on the mat. You know, he's a big guy as well. Probably can't get up because he's so big. But, I mean, JB, you've probably rolled with massive guys. It's not super easy to tap them. You know what I mean? Like, you try and get back control, which is probably the best thing to do, take the back. But even if you do, you ain't putting no hook in. You can't body triangle them. They're massive. And then on top of that, very strong, very hard to Kimura, stuff like that. So I think Justin Tafa probably has some upside, even if he does get taken down. And the reason I say that is because I've seen the guy fight hard for all 3 rounds, where I haven't seen Teixeira do that. He did go to free round decision once, but that was in modified kickboxing rule set, where the rounds were only 3 minutes, completely different fight. That's 6 minutes less total fight, which is massive. Because 2 minutes, basically half the time limit in each round, which is massive, right? So yeah, I think Tafa has to be the side because you favor him late. He's got UFC level experience and UFC level just about wins. And he can hit just as hard as Teixeira. And to be honest, I think he's way better counter striker than Teixeira. And Teixeira is going to give him opportunities to counter. And I've seen Teixeira hit by some awful guys. So I'm going to go with Justin Tafa. It could look stupid because he can get knocked out in round 1. But whatever happens, I think it's going to end in round 1.
You're lagging, brother. You're lagging a little bit. I think your mic might have died.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, so I don't really know where I left off. Basically, prediction is that you have to make Justin Tafa the side based on his UFC experience and his UFC wins and his cardio experience. And I think that he will be able to counter-strike Teixeira here. This could look stupid because whoever wins is probably going to be a brutal knockout in round 1. So obviously you look stupid if you're on the wrong side. But I think it's very volatile matchup. Any plus money is good. And I think the fight ends in round 1.
I think it could end in like the first 2 minutes of round 2 as well. Bro, it definitely was getting cold, bro. But it's done now. It's gone. I devoured that shit. I think we lost James, guys. I think we lost James. Yeah, we lost him.
But no, I'm just carry on. I don't know if I'm here, but just break the fight down.
You're back. Yeah, guys, I like the under 1.5 here. We tipped it on James' show yesterday. It's taking a lot of action. I was going to say I could see a finish for Tafa in the first 2 minutes of round 2, just because this Teixeira guy has never been out of the first round. What we say about Tafa's cardio is bad. At least he's been to the 3rd round. He even was pushing in the 3rd round against a guy like Williams, who's one of the better wrestlers at the heavyweight division. No, he doesn't have the best control, but he's one of the better wrestlers at getting guys to the mat. I think Teixeira would have a tough time even wrestling here in the first place, just because of the level, like how far he has to go to reach a leg of Tafa. Like Tafa, for what he is, like I don't think he's like an easy man to take down. If one of us were to grab him, you know, we're not heavyweights, so it's going to be a tough time. I think you need like a Carl Williams type of build to really get under this guy to take him down. Now, once you get him to the ground, yeah, it's easy, but you know, he's still a big heavyweight, a lot shorter than a guy like Teixeira, who isn't short and stocky. So like body type wise, the grappling isn't really going to favor Teixeira in the wrestling. Maybe in the jiu-jitsu, yeah, like if he grabs onto a Kimura like Harry Hunsucker did, maybe he finishes that. Or if he gets an arm triangle like standing, like he could finish that. Like the fight doesn't even have to necessarily hit the mat when you have a guy like with that type of limb length, right? We saw it with Lemos and Andrade. Obviously, it's a little bit different body structure, but it's not an impossible way to go out. So, yeah, like he has some grappling upside, but generally, I just didn't like what I seen in the Arthur Lopez fight. He's fought a super low level of competition. Tafa's the hometown guy here, but on the other end, I also could see him getting finished like Jurgen De Castro did to him. This guy Teixeira is a little bit of a unknown, and he obviously does swing hard. I think this could be like a Juan Adams type knockout, like how he did Juan Adams. So So I like Tafa. I think he gets the round 1 KO. That'll be my prediction. But for a betting standpoint, I like the under 1.5, and I like the I just like the under 1.5. I won't say fight doesn't go because it's like minus 600, bro.
Yeah, what's the under 1.5?
Minus 185, and the Tafa round 1 KO.
I got it 350. What's tougher money line?
Tafa money line is plus 120.
You never know. I might want to just be safe.
Yeah, because like I said, I think he get it in death gas. Like he just stays safe for the first 5 minutes, and then this guy just doesn't have the cardio. But yeah, take this fight if you don't mind, bro. I'm gonna go grab something from inside real quick. I know I keep getting up.
Another sandwich.
I
hope you're grabbing that Suarez pack.
I'm going to grab some pack. I'm going to grab some pack.
Yeah, make sure you come back with that Suarez pack, because by the time you come back, I'm about to roll her up. So look, Tatiana Suarez is a legend, and if you're going off emotions, I don't want to be rude. I don't want to be rude to the Tatiana backers. Obviously, it's not just emotions, but like if you are going off emotions, and if you are going off destiny, if you are going off fate, if you are going off sentimentality, I don't think that's a word, but now it is. I'm English. We created the English language. I can create a new word live on stream. If you're going off sentimentality, then of course Suarez is the pick, right? I just don't think she looks as good as she once did coming back off all of these injuries, boys. You know, it's very upsetting for her, and even for me as a fan of the sport to some degree, because you know her whole career has been marred by injuries, has been marred by outside of the octagon things. She had to pull out of the Olympics back in 2012 because of cancer, right? She had some issue with her neck. She had to get surgery, cancer taken out. So she wasn't able to get a gold medal because of her injuries back then. You know, I guess don't call cancer an injury, whatever. But I believe that just as her injuries stopped her getting the gold medal back then, I think her injuries can stop her getting the gold belt here, because I think that she hasn't looked the same athletically since she's come back. I think she hasn't looked the same physically since she's come back. I don't think the speed of her shots are 100%. And this is very, very hard to see with the naked eye. You know, it's kind of like how I believe Nasruddin Imavov was able to KO Izzy last week. If you watch my YouTube channel, you know I gave out Nasruddin Imavov money line last week plus 140, and I also said that he could win by a knockout. And the reason I said that is because I saw Izzy's reaction time in slowing, but most people didn't, right? Most of the market didn't. Most people I spoke to didn't, and it's not easy to catch these things. But if you can get an edge. I believe that Suarez isn't like her shots aren't as fast. When she gets the first single, switch to the double, it's not as quick. You know, maybe it used to go single, switch to double. Maybe now it's like single, switch to double, just a little bit slower, you know, that half beat, that half second. It might not matter. Doesn't mean she's definitely going to lose because I've seen this one thing, right? Because people do that a lot. Like I'll say something and I'll be like, oh, you know, you said this, but that happened. Even if she has lost a step athletically, doesn't mean she's definitely going to lose. I just believe that it takes away a lot of her ability to win the fight. You know, on top of that, Weili Zhang is obviously the best striker. It's like, you know, the level gap on the ground, right, is the same as the level gap on the feet. Let's not forget that. So if Zhang is able to keep it on the feet, or at least not even get submitted early, then I think you're going to see the strike. Every fight starts on its feet, right? And I think you're going to see the striking gap widen over the rounds, you know, as they go along. I like Weili Zhang's cardio better. I like her level of competition better. She's beaten the better fighters. She's fought the better fighters. She's got a good finishing rate, just as Suarez does. Her activity has been completely different to Tatiana Suarez. This is a good fight. I just don't think Tatiana Suarez should be the favorite in 2025. I really don't. So I'm picking Zhang to win this one. I think Zhang's going to be able to smash her on the feet, and I think Suarez will start to gas out the later the fight goes. I think round 3, round 4, we could start to see her get desperate for some takedowns. If her athleticism has dropped now, it definitely drops in round 3 and round 4. And Zhang can build, and I think Zhang can get a finish. I understand the upside for Suarez here. She could get a takedown. I don't know who that Chinese dude is. I'm sure you're going to tell me in a minute. But I don't understand why Suarez is moved to a favorite in 2025. It should probably be Pick'em if it's going to move anywhere, because obviously it's hard to predict. So, yeah, my prediction is for Weili Zhang in this one. And I think doesn't go to decision is kind of good as well, because both fighters are finishers and both fighters are kryptonite for each other, striking/wrestling. And this is a binary fight, striker versus grappler.
Yes, the Chinese president, bro. It was a joke. But I think also like maybe they can neutralize each other in certain areas. Like if Weili starts to put it on with the striking, it's like maybe Tatiana could like hold on to her or defend just enough. Like I don't think it's a complete like she's gonna like get knocked out. Same thing, like if Tatiana takes her down, I don't necessarily think that Weili is such a fish on the mat that she's gonna get subbed. I do think at some point Weili is gonna get taken down. I hear a lot of people saying, that Yan Xiaonan taking her down was a bad look, and while I can agree with that, take that off of the screen, bro. While I'm talking, like please, we can't be having that on the screen while the Jewish bettor's talking. Come on, bro. And like I was gonna say, I don't. I think Weili's improved. I think she's getting better at getting back to her feet. I think she's shown urgency at getting back to her feet, and I don't think she really was expecting Yan Xiaonan to wrestle. Like, why would, she be expecting her to offensively wrestle? Here, she's going to be expecting Tatiana Suarez, who's not as good of a striker, to set up the takedowns to wrestle. So I think she's going to be a little bit more aware here in this spot. Better cardio, better championship experience. Suarez never been to a 5-round fight before. I don't know if she's even been scheduled, and we've even seen her slow down in rounds 3. So I think you have to give rounds 4 and 5. Like, I'm not saying it's a complete 100%, but I'm giving those rounds to Weili Zhang all day. So if I'm giving her at least 2 rounds of the 5, unless Tatiana Suarez subs her, I don't see how she's the favorite here. And I don't think she's going to be able to just easily submit her unless it's with a guillotine choke in the first 2 rounds. And I think that Weili's the most physical grappler that she's fought in the past few years. I think that some of the physicality and the isometric strength of Weili Zhang could give Tatiana Suarez in some spots where some of these girls weren't as strong. I think Weili Zhang is by far and large the better striker. Not to say that Tatiana's just going to get knocked out, but I think she's going to have to shoot here. I think she's going to have to wrestle. And when you're forced to have to wrestle, it's not as effective sometimes. And while she's very systematic in her grappling, I do believe that. She's good at getting to the back. She's good at getting to the front headlock. I just think that Weili Zhang, with her fight IQ, with her championship experience, is just going to have a little bit more edge. And at an underdog price tag, I have to bet it there. I took her at a moneyline price. So I agree with you here, man. At first, I was thinking Suarez might be able to get some of the grappling off, and I do think she still can, but I don't think that's the end of the fight. I think Weili finds a way back to the feet, and I don't think Suarez can sustain it for 25. She'd have to get the sub.
Nice, brother. Nice. What's the odds?
On Weili, just money line? I think it's like plus 10.
So.
I think it's like plus 106, bro.
We don't really like anything else, right?
I like the Weili decision personally, but it doesn't sound like you. It sounds like you think she could finish her.
I just think it's binary, so like someone will get finished, but it's not a guarantee. Well, you like the decision? I'll write it down.
No, at the price I could pass on it. I like the money line better.
What's TKO?
Plus 106 for the money line, and for the TKO, it's plus 300.
What's the decision?
Plus 275.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's it. We'll move on to the main event.
Yeah, go Zhang money line. I like that. Oh, we're on the main already? Let's go.
Let's go. First of all, we'll kick off the main event. I want to give you a shout out, bro, because I went back and watched our breakdown of the first fight.
Oh, wait, I gotta light the Suarez pack, bro. My bad.
Ooh, light that shit, bro. And then I'll give you the shout out, and then you can smoke it while you're getting the shout out. Let me zoom in for the boys. Still Knox versus Tarzan. Motherfucker they both look like Tarzan there, to be honest. If they combine Dricus's like everything with Sean's chest hair. That
Yeah, you
would
need the
be
chest
legit
hair.
Tarzan. So, bro, yeah, I want to give you a quick shout out because last time, well, the first ever episode of Parlay Madness that me and you did together, which was episode 2, we spoke about Sean Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis because it was their first fight. And obviously, Dricus was the challenger at that time. He was the underdog as well. And you called Dricus in that fight. You liked Dricus. You also liked fight goes to decision. And that's what happened. Dricus won a decision. And it was plus 250 to go to decision, which is crazy. The difference now, it's like minus 150 to go to decision, right? Or even higher. I think it's like minus 180 or something, which is kind of crazy. So, you know, based on that fight, you've gone plus 250 to minus 180. I mean, I'd do the maths on that, boys. That is some crazy movement. And you actually called that one. And then we ended up even writing Dricus' decision down. I think I said, I don't really like the goes to decision, but I like du Plessis decision. And that was plus 900. So, like, we was giving out some fucking hot takes for that one. So, yeah, definitely want to say well done to you on that because I think you bet it as well. I know you bet on Dricus. I ended up betting Dricus after the first round. I can kind of just see that Dricus had more tools, or after the first or second round, I don't know. And obviously ended up winning. It was a little bit closer than I wanted. But anyway, it cashed. I think that this time around, Dricus is going to win it, but he's going to win it more cleanly. I believe that it could even end inside the distance this time around. You know, no two fights are the same. We know that. Jazz meat. We know that a lot of people they're trying to shame you, bro. Yeah, we know that no two fights are the same, right? So oftentimes the first fight goes to decision, second fight ends inside the distance, whatever. So that is obviously an angle here. And if we watch the first fight, it was a bit of a war, man. Like both fighters got rocked a couple of times. There was no finishing sequences, but I feel like Dricus can finish anyone, man. And I did a tweet yesterday and it went viral. It got like 20, I think it's on like 26,000 views at the moment. And all I said was Dricus du Plessis' value at minus 200. Come at me. The reason I said come at me is because like all I've seen all week is just takes on the first fight was 50-50. So how can he now be plus 180? It's not the first fight anymore, right? It's not, they're not going to, why is everyone assuming they're going to have a repeat of the first fight? Like, I don't understand why everyone, like, I just don't understand.
Say something real quick?
Yeah, go, bro.
Just look at the thumbnail of the first one and look at this thumbnail, and then you can see one difference right there.
Yeah, and bro, like Teddy Atlas coined this term, and I don't want to butcher it, but he said when you become a champion, you get like 20% better or something like that. You know, so if we go on that, Sean was the champion going into Dricus. Sean was 20% better than he is now, and he still fucking lost. And now Dricus is 20%. That's a 40% difference, motherfucker. So that's just a small difference right there, that the championship mentality, which I do believe to be true for a lot of fighters. I think someone like Dricus, it probably is true as well, especially with what he's saying in interviews. He's saying like he kind of held back in round 1 because he knew he was going up against the best cardio machine of the entire division, Sean Strickland, and he wanted to make sure he lasted 5 rounds because he hadn't been 5 rounds in many years. And you can kind of see that because, man, he was pushing heavily in those later rounds, whereas in the first rounds, he was a little bit hesitant. I feel like if he comes out pushing early because he knows he's got a good gas tank, I think he could put it on Sean. I think he could hurt Sean. Sean is good when he's doing his 1-2 jab and walking forward. But Dricus, when he was walking Sean down, Sean weren't really doing well, man. He was getting flustered. He seemed like he didn't like it. He didn't like it. It was a close fight. But I just don't like the take that it's going to be exactly the same as the first fight, which automatically means Sean is value. Things can change. And let me tell you something. Dricus du Plessis has all the knockout finishing upside here, or at least most of it. Dricus du Plessis has all the submission finishing upside here, or at least most of it. Dricus du Plessis has all of the takedown upside here, or most of it. And on top of that, he's probably a better striker, if not 50-50. So where is Sean's edge in this fight? Is it cardio? It didn't look like it in the first fight. He cleanly lost round 4. It was the cleanest round of the entire fight, right? So I don't think Sean has this cardio advantage that apparently he was meant to have. So where's his advantage? I don't see him having an advantage in any realm of the fight. Doesn't mean he can't. Okay, like I'm not. Yeah, he's got a better jab. Doesn't mean he has a jab advantage. I mean, like when you big macro things, cardio, durability, grappling, submission, knockout. Like I don't see him have any whatsoever upside in any of the fights. So I believe that Sean Strickland, to win this fight, he needs to win a close fight. It needs to be split decision. It's MMA. Shit can happen. He could crack him, of course, okay. But I believe that he needs to win a close decision. I think Dricus can win knockout. I think Dricus can win a clean decision with grappling and damage. I think Dricus can win a submission. And I think Dricus can win anyway. And I don't think Sean can win anyway. At least not over like 5%. So yeah, that's my breakdown, man. I like Dricus here. I think that he should be about 70% here. I think he wins the fight 7 times out of 10, which is not crazy. I mean, based on the first fight, he wins it 5 out of 10, right? Right. That's the first one iteration that we saw. So why can't it be 7 out of 10 if on many iterations he knocks him out, many iterations he grapples him? Like it's not that of a crazy thing to go 7 out of 10 here. So I'm saying 7 out of 10 minimum. I think it could be 7.5, 8. I honestly do. I know it's it sounds crazy coming off that first fight, but that's just my prediction, man. I think Dricus is better everywhere. He is literally one of the best MMA fighters. And when I say that, I mean MMA. Like he is MMA to the bone. He throws head kicks, spinning wheel kicks, jabs, body punches, single legs, double legs, rear naked chokes, ground and pound, side control, crucifix. Like the guy has every move in the toolbox. If you have a controller, and I'm going to stop soon, boys, don't worry. You know I'm on a roll right now. If you're playing UFC on the PlayStation and you have a controller and you're controlling Sean Strickland, you need to learn 4 buttons. Jab, straight, that crazy hook that he does, and a teep. That's all you have, right? If you have a controller with Dricus du Plessis, you have to learn every single button on the controller. And then you need to have an additional controller that you plug in to have more buttons because he has literally got so many tools in his toolbox. I believe that he's going to be able to diverge his game and use whatever tool he needs to win the fight. So that's it, boys. Dricus du Plessis, -200 value. Bring it home.
I love it, man. I love your take. I love the conviction. I remember when these guys first, started their little beef. You remember Sean Strickland had the wherewithal to tell Gilbert Burns' son, skedaddle, move out of the way. And then he flies in, kamikaze, comes in, and, they start the brawl in the crowd. And that's how this one starts. Obviously, since then, a lot has happened. It's an interesting spot, man. And I like how you mentioned in the beginning how the market has changed. From the first fight to the second fight, it's crazy how opinions in MMA change because you think like the market has to go with the line, right? In the first fight, the reason the line was where it was at was because nobody thought the fight was going to go the distance. Now, it's chalked. Everybody thinks, that the fight will go the distance. By the way, guys, I didn't get one single subscriber since this damn thing started.
Are you joking?
I didn't get one subscriber.
No. You must have.
Because if I
refresh it.
Nah, dude, I didn't get any. If not one single person subscribed to me, we're not giving out any parlays.
What are you on the YouTube app? Or do you get email when someone subscribes?
Yeah, bro, I didn't get one. What the hell are you guys doing?
No. We can't. If JB don't get some subscribers, we're not doing the parlays. That's disrespectful. We're literally giving you 2 hours worth of game completely for free. And JB, we're literally on YouTube. Boys, come on. Go over to his channel and subscribe.
Here it is. It's at Jewish Better. I started with 281. I still got 281, guys. We're
not going to do the parlays if we don't subscribe to Jewish Better. Is it literally just at Jewish Better? I'll put it in the chat.
It's at Jewish Better, guys. At Jewish Better. The same one I chat with. This one right here.
Okay.
That's anti-Semitic, bro. Yes, bro. I totally agree. Crazy. I already subscribed. Yeah, you know what? That might be the thing. They might already all be subscribed, bro. You guys
he's the one in Tel Aviv, not me, bro. I'm not in Tel Aviv. I'm in New Zealand. We don't have internet out here.
Bro, I like DDP here. I'm not even going to keep going, bro. Let's make the parlays, bro. you
We
guys
ain't
want
making them if they don't subscribe,
oh
bro.
yeah, you guys got to subscribe. You know what? I'll break this one down on my show tomorrow. You guys got to tap in, but if you want to tap in, you got to be subscribed. So,
Bro, this one is cancelled. That's crazy. Is Dixon trolling us? You see this one?
all right, I'll check. He might be right. It's gonna be a leg out of my parlay, bro.
I feel like Dixon is a troller, but at the same time, I don't think he would troll like
Yeah,
that.
I don't think so either. I think
Not
that
with
fight's
that.
probably gonna be canceled.
He'll troll with saying Slava has a good chin, but like not
Did
with
you guys know
serious
John
stuff like
Anik
that.
is Jewish? I think he's Jewish. Somebody told me that recently.
I don't know, but I did see Justin Anik.
Nah, bro. I think this dude's trolling, bro.
Oh, why would he troll? That's such a stupid troll. It's not even a good fight, though. I don't think he is. Would he really? Oh, I don't know.
Nah, I mean, literally, John Anik's last post was, I cannot wait to hear John Anik crush this name pronunciation, and it's Naim Yargle.
Yeah, but go on Marcel. He said Marcel.
Oh, come on, bro.
Okay, you got subs, bro. People, oh, you're at 288 now, bro. We're going off.
Let's go, dude. That's what I needed, man. That's what I needed. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. I
Depends
love
what
you.
you like, Tanner, innit? In some ways, yes. In some ways, no.
I'm going to Big Marcel.
Nah, he did.
Pulled out? Yeah, it's canceled. Shit, bro. That was going to be my parlay leg, bro. Oh, well. I'll have to find a new one.
All good. All right, so you like Didi. Should we do the parlays, bro?
Yeah, I don't want to even talk about this one. If you guys want to hear my thoughts on this fight, tap in tomorrow. I'll be breaking down the entire main card, giving out a parlay with 2 guests. You tap in. I just posted about it on my X. So, yeah, let's get this money, baby. It's going to be a repeat of the first fight, except he gets the finish this time. I did enough talking. Let's go, guys. You guys are both the GOATs. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
Thanks, bro. Of course, but peace and tranquility. Yeah, I feel you, bro. All right. Yeah, let's make the parlays, boys. So now we're to the best part of the show. We've broken down the entire card for you. I hope you enjoy it. Like this video if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe to JB, like we've said. And we're gonna make the parlays. Now we used to do about 8, and we ain't doing that shit anymore. But Jewish Better keeps bullying me and telling me we need to do 1 long shot and 1 short shot. So maybe we could do that.
Bro, I think we should just do 1 long shot now.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's go.
Oh my god, dude! I'll pick 1 leg. You pick 1, maybe, bro. Because I was gonna use Naim Yargle KO, bro. Now I'm lost.
Facts.
Jacob Dolan, my boy Tom, brother. All right, I'll make my safe parlay first. Let's go. Can I get a scroll?
You're gonna do 1, bro.
Can you scroll up? No, I want to do 1 like short odd parlay, and then I'm gonna do a long shot also. Right. Okay. I like. Let me go with Jousset over minus 1,550.
No value there. 155.
Brother, I like Nolan under 1.5 minus 115.
Yeah.
I like Tafa under 1.5 minus 185.
I'm taking all the good ones.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro.
No, go on, all good.
And I'll go Zhang money line plus 106.
All right, can you add all of that up?
Yeah, I'll add it right now. I did really just take all the good ones, didn't I?
No, that's cool. If we're really, really good, we can use them again.
Well, we just want to hit, right? It don't matter who does it, right?
Yeah.
I take credit for your last one. I don't care, even though I did none of the work. It's about the legs. You guys just put the legs, and the rest will fall into place.
You kind of did. We went back and forth.
Yeah,
You know, it's help.
Probably said the opposite on like 3 of the plays. No, I'm just joking. I got to add up the odds. You're right. You want to think of your parlay while I...
Bro, it's interesting, and we kind of agree a lot, but we don't talk to each other before the show, bro.
We talked a little bit.
No, but that was this week because it was random because we did that space. But like 9 times out of 10, we won't talk, bro. And we often agree, which is very interesting to me.
And we only talked about like 4 fights on that space. It wasn't like we talked the whole card.
So should we do 1 parlay each and then a joint one?
A joint one. Yeah, I think we should just do 1 parlay each and then a joint like long shot.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right. I think so. My parlay is plus 493, by the way.
That's
Throw down a little bit.
respectable. Plus 493. That's a big price. All right, and then JB parlay, and then I'll do JB parlay.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the same.
Fuck's sake. All right, lucrative.
James Blissett.
That's it.
I'm balling like Jacoby Brissett. I'm about to eat some barbecue, get some brisket.
Woo!
You ass like Jamie Pickett,
Woo!
but I'm about to go post up and get a picket fence, white. I'm like Mike.
Oh, we need a beat,
Dope.
bro. We need someone put a beat on for my boy.
Yeah, facts. Nah, I'm just messing around.
All right. Wait, this is my crazy. All right, I won't do that because
Yeah. Wait, hold that for the crazy.
Yeah. Oh, you took all the good ones.
I know, I really did, and especially now that fight, I was gonna add Tumor Doombro doesn't go.
I might have to add Jousset decision.
You could use the same legs as me too, bro. Don't think because I use those legs, like fuck it, they'll fucking double up. Who cares?
Double up.
You could even think of like we didn't write down the Crute under 1.5.
It's all right. What's the price for that one?
Yeah, why didn't we write? Let me look. I didn't want to like say it, but I thought we wrote it down.
To be honest, I probably won't use that. It's a bit risky.
Okay, we don't have to write
so
it
I
down.
like Jousset decision. I want to put that in with. Could go with Tafa money line. Just like fuck
See
it.
what the chat's saying.
What are we thinking, boys? Oh, Drickers. I didn't write Drickers. I like Drickers. What the fuck?
I think it's because I kind of bullshitted my way through like not breaking that fight down, so we forgot.
Yeah. Oh no. I'll bang Drickers in there then. That's an easy
What about
one.
what about the fight doesn't go the distance? I actually kind of like that.
Yeah, I do, but
Because...
I don't know. I just want to be a bit safer for this one.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. I like the fight doesn't go the distance, guys, just for what it's worth.
Yeah, that's decent. I mean, it was like minus 300 the first time. Yeah. Minus 300 is crazy.
I know. It's a huge shift in the market. Huge shift. For a 185
What do you think about this? What do you think about this Salkill? Do you think it could go to decision, eh?
It's a lot of volatility inherited in that fight just because of the fact of Salkill making his debut.
True.
But there's not many legs this week either. Like,
see, I really like Nolan under 1.5 and Tafa under 1.5, but you used it. But it doesn't mean I can't use it though.
I agree 100% that you could use it. Who cares? If they're good legs, why would we use them?
Fuck.
You don't want to use both of them because it's like...
It's just annoying. Like if I use it and it loses, both them our parlays are dead. But I should really do it independent on you, right? Do I like Nolan under 1.5 or Sal Kid doesn't go to decision? Oh, we didn't even write Santos money line.
I like Santos money line too.
Fuck it, let me put that in. Minus 225, right?
I don't know why we didn't write it down because we said we both liked it too.
Yeah, I don't know. And then
kind of like the over in that fight too.
I might add Wang in, minus 400.
Yeah, she's
Oh, what is she now?
She's a good parlay piece in my opinion. I said I wouldn't bet her, but I understand what you're like with the legs that we have. I understand what you're.
I'm trying to boost up. It could be good or maybe we need one more plus. All right, what's Wang money line?
I'm trying to find out right now, but it's like not. Fight odds has really been disappointing me lately. Tapology as well.
Maybe 450. Oh, John Kelly has a good one. Shout out to John. Fight numbers. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can. I think you got to pay for that, right? Yeah, you do.
I mean, it might be worth it at this point, honestly. Minus 400 for Wang.
Okay, and what's the? Can we add all those together? Plus 140, minus 200.
Yeah. Hold on. Minus 400. Plus minus 225, minus 200.
And
And
then
then
plus 140.
plus 140. Yeah, that should give you something around.
Close to yours, hopefully.
Yeah, plus 550. A little bit more.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that.
A little bit more. Yeah, we found our way through it. Took a little second. All right, now for the fun part. Let's do this one.
So is this the crazy one, the joint crazy one? Should we do like 2 each? One each. Oh, we'll see how
I
we
think
go.
we should just give out one, bro. I think we should just collaborate.
Oh, that's what I mean. Like maybe like 1 leg each or 2 leg each or what?
Yeah, we just give out one parlay. Like we collaborate together to just make one parlay.
Yeah. Go on,
What do you
bro.
think about the Tafa KO one? It's hard to play the 2-3s, unfortunately. You have to like pair them together. We could still do it though. We could still do it.
No, I reckon we still do it because I might do the Kong Wang 2-3 in this one, bro. I think that'll be my one. Kong Wang 2-3.
Okay, I'll go with Tafa KO 1.
Okay, that's nice, bro.
I just didn't want to even second guess it. Gut feeling, Tafa KO 1. Bang. He'll drink some piss after.
Mad one, man. What the fuck? Some weird ass language, man. Shout out to my Aussies, though. So we'll do 1 parlay with Kong Wang round 2, and then we'll do 1 parlay with Kong Wang round 3.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how we do it. Or if you got a book that does 2-3. By the way, JB, someone said earlier in the chat that you can do that with Bovada. So okay. I don't know, like.
Yeah, I'm banned from there, so I can't.
Do they ban?
Yeah, just a long story, whatever.
Okay.
What was it again? Or like, you think she could sub? Is that where we're just doing 2-3, or the price difference is like minimal?
The price difference isn't enough for me. I checked it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, like
remember I said I think she could catch her in a guillotine too. I said that yesterday.
Look, I know for a fact that when Brazil gets hit, she's going to try and panic shoot. Like that's all I need to know to not go for the.
When I said it yesterday, I think everyone probably was like, "What is this dude talking about?" But I just think she could hurt her, and yeah, she'll definitely wrestle. Plus 28-25, bro, for the first Lou and the Jew. And then for the round 3, which it's going to be in because that pays more and we want more money, is $750. It would add up to $37.25, like 37. Honestly, it'll be a lot more on like FanDuel or whatever, though.
Yeah, am I going a bit mad with the Kong Wang KO? We could add something else, but let me not second guess it.
What else are we gonna go with? Zoo
I was
decision.
thinking the only other thing I would really do is like Sal Kid 2-3, but like, or maybe Crute KO, but like. Fuck it. I leave Wang, man. Wang hurts every girl, bro. Fuck it, bro. This chick's moving up in weight. Like, I don't know. Let's do it.
All right, bro. Hell yeah.
I think that's cool, bro.
I mean, she's plus 1,300 on FanDuel to win in round 3 and plus 650 to win in round 2.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, you gave me some plus 750, but anyway, whatever. We'll leave it.
So then, like, imagine what Tafa round 1 KO is going to be. It's probably the same thing, honestly.
Probably the same on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we'll just leave it wherever. The boys will get like 50 to 1, 50,
she's
60.
KO her in round 3. That's what I had written down for my prediction on the fight is Kong Wang round 3 or decision. Hopefully,
I think more round 3 than round 2 as well, to be honest, bro.
Yeah, so that's a big jump. The book doesn't, but I disagree with them, and that's probably because when Bruna has been hurt and finished, it's been in round 1. But who's that girl she went to decision with? Or she barely finished her? Marnik Man?
Yeah.
With that fight, you know, like I get she made improvements versus McCann, but McCann, I have questions about her and where she's at in her career. And, you know, she hurt her with some body strikes there. Yeah, cool. I don't think she's going to do that to Wang. I think Wang's got front kicks to the face. She's got teeps. She throws with volition as well. And Bruna Brazil's chin is up there to be hit, in my opinion. Like, her defense is like a tall man defense, if I could say that for a woman. Like, if she backs up with her chin straight in the air, I don't think that's good against a girl who could hit like Kong Wang. We're talking about women's 125 now, not women's 115. This is a different weight class.
And she's going to read it. Like, Brazil's very basic. Kong Wang, after a couple of minutes, will read her reactions.
Yep. I don't think Brazil's bad. No,
she's all right.
Yeah. I just think Wang is a little bit, you know, more polished.
So that's it, boys. This is all the parlay legs. Screen record right now because they're going to be gone forever. Obviously, you can always rewind, so don't worry. And then we're going to go over the parlays one more time. And then we will be gone, boys. The return of the parlay madness. I hope you, man, enjoyed it. JB, you want to tell them your parlay?
The reunion, baby. Nolan under 1.5. Tafa under 1.5. Zhang on a money line plus 493. My boy. I'll bring the picture back up. Go ahead.
We got the lucrative parlay. Jousset going to get a decision here. This guy's going to pull guard for 15 minutes and he ain't going to win. Trickers Plessis, value at -200. Come at me. Santos is just better in all realms. Hopefully, there's no home cooking decision. Hopefully, no presidents or anyone in the Australian scene are involved. And then we got Wang -400, value at -400 again. Come at me. Remember people talking online about Twitter like, oh, you're saying there's only value on dogs. Trickers Plessis, value at -200. Remember, I said it first.
We're back, baby.
Value at -400. Never, ever, ever accuse me of saying there's only value on dogs. Use your brain. Listen, Lou and the Jew parlay. I think I got to say the first leg and you got to say your leg, bro. Wang round 2 plus 550.
Tafa KO plus 350, baby.
Bang. It returns 25 to 1. And then same thing here. Wang round 3.
Tafa KO 1 plus 350. Drink some piss after.
Drink some piss with our 37.5 to 1.
17 subscribers, baby. Let's go. We got 298. That's way better, fellas. And we got to hit tomorrow.
We got to hit 312 by fight time. I think once you do your show and then a few new people see it, we'll hit 312 by 312 starting. I believe so.
Yeah, make sure you follow me on X. Make sure you are tapped in on YouTube. Thank you again, James, for having me, bro. This was super fun, bro, and I hope you enjoy your training session, man. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you very much, brother. Gonna literally head off right now. So shout out to everyone. Appreciate you guys. Hopefully we can make some money. Return of the parlay madness. Lou and the Jew. Let's make some fucking money. Bang.